mango.
Pusha go high the beat. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
Why is the right corner always seem to be the problem? What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It is episode 43 of the Heavyweight Bros podcast. It is Friday, April 22nd. As always, I am your host, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. And to my right is the fried dumpling, the high yellow headed man, the freaking Diggin, the tropical, I was gonna say the tropical boptical, but no opticals. But like,
wow.
My guy to my right, Uncle Raisin. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's pod day. I'm so sorry that it's Friday and the vacation's coming to an end. Only a couple days left, and then we have to go and make the donuts again.
You ever see like the TikToks of like when you accidentally walk into the back of the bakery and see how they make the donuts, and the dude's like,
oh, no.
How they make donut holes?
Never eat a donut again. That's tripping, man. I think the funniest video I've seen so far is when the dude was like, I went to work and there was no parking spaces, so I left. And the song comes on, how did you get here? But he's on a boat, bro. He's on a boat fishing. And the caption was like, they got enough people for today.
But it's just like, it's the same thing for like when they're just like, oh, when it's time for me to cook dinner. And it's like he's getting ready to open it and all of a sudden it's Chick-fil-A. I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, before you know it, things will be moving right along and we'll be like, where did the time go? You know what I mean? So I'm going to enjoy it for what it is.
I've never said that one because like this year has been a long year. So like, I don't think it's like where did the time go? It's like, damn, we made it. Like, I feel like at graduation we should play the drink that nigga, we made it. Like, just like that, like on that anniversary too. Because like that's how we all feel.
He gonna play it through the hallways.
Yeah. Now see, we have our ceremony outside with a DJ, so it's like we just have the DJ that's like, as soon as everybody's like, all right, you guys are good, nigga, we made it.
Definitely playing closing time.
No, because it's only a half a day, so we still earn. The 8th graders leave a half a day, so we'll still be in there.
I don't care.
So
still closing time. I'll play it twice. But no, yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
It's weird.
Whoa.
I feel like
do tell.
I feel like restless is like the word.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like I had a lot of big things planned for my vacation.
Okay.
I didn't wind up doing like literally any of those things.
Sheesh, not even one?
No, I was supposed to go to Vegas, remember, and I didn't go.
Yeah.
Then I was supposed to go to Canada, didn't go.
Jeez.
Then I was gonna go to Boston, didn't go. I was gonna go to these Celtics games, I didn't go. And then these last 2 days, I just haven't been feeling well. So like I've kind of just been like in the house, like not doing nothing and stuff like that. So it's like it just feels like I wasted an opportunity. So it's like I'm just like restless. And then it's like you said, like we're going back to work, and it's just like, damn, it's like what did I really do with my time?
You should go to Boston by way of Canada today.
What?
Just to feel like you accomplished something, man.
Nah. So wait, gas money with these gas prices?
I mean, you're true.
You true.
Yeah, you true. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But I'm not gonna lie, like pod day does seem like I'm actually like doing something productive. I guess that's kind of what it is. It's like I felt very unproductive.
Gotcha.
I feel like I didn't really do anything. I feel like there was a lot of waiting around for things to happen and stuff like that. And it's just like I feel like that's the annoying thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Like, that's where I'm at with it.
I hope it gets better. In the last 2 days.
I guess we'll see.
All right, well, let's get into this digging in the crates. You ready?
Dig to it.
No diggity, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First and last announcement for this. Antonio Brown has an album out.
What else we got in the docket?
Pusha T released an album.
Hey, there we go. Did you listen to it?
I did not. It just came out today.
I know. I listened to it this morning while I was brushing my teeth.
That's what's
And
up.
I was like, I feel like this isn't the...
It's the most gangster toothbrush you ever had in your life.
Missy was the only misdemeanor. I'm just like, oh, my teeth are getting cleaner.
Spit out the toothpaste. Was like, that's coke white toothpaste.
Yeah, that coke white like plaque.
Look like Colgate. Oh man.
So you didn't listen to it at all. I listened to like the first half of it. I feel like it's just okay.
Okay.
Like I feel like, remember how we felt about like Diet Coke, where it was just like, oh, like this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like he just has a collection of Diet Cokes.
Okay, so yeah, traditional Push then.
Yeah, so like the album is 12 songs,
mm-hmm.
and apparently it's half an hour. It's like 35 minutes
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Like I feel like ever since Daytona, like he's been on this really short albums, short songs,
mm-hmm.
where it's like he's not really wasting like a lot of time on it. Out of the first 6 songs, I think one of them is Neck and Wrist, and then the other one is Diet Coke. So it's like, you know, you kind of retread those territories,
yeah.
But it's like
I think it's like 3 songs that are already out that were off the album.
How many tracks
are there?
12.
Okay.
12 songs. But like it's solid. It's just like I just think if it sizzles, it doesn't blow.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense?
Got you.
I'm just curious to see what a lot of people's reaction to it is, because like I feel like that criticism is the criticism that people have about J. Cole stuff. And people talk about like this is the reason why J. Cole isn't better than Kendrick, because like J. Cole makes music that'll put you to sleep or whatever. And stuff like that. Like that's like their thing. I was like, oh, new Cole album. I haven't slept well in forever. Good thing that people make jokes like that. And it's just like, well, now Pusha's doing it. Like, are you gonna say the same thing, or are you just gonna Are you gonna try to cape for him because he's talking about drugs? Like, you know, the subject matter is different.
Every track doesn't have to be house music that you dance to at a rave.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's
like it's super lyrical, but like I feel like he kind of stays on the same level all the time.
And supposedly this is supposed to be the last album like this.
What do you mean?
So I mean the title of the album is All Dried Up.
Yep.
So I'm assuming, like, you know, when you go through a drought in the hood, like
it's almost dry.
It's almost dry. There you go. So I'm assuming like maybe he's gonna be taking a different turn with his new album or the next album, or maybe he's just not. I won't say not making music, but maybe it's just like a bunch of features. Like, I don't know. Just the title is very alluding to like him not doing the style of rap anymore.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like my initial soundbite probably sounds like I don't like it or like whatever. And it's like, that's not what I'm really trying to say. It's like, I've been a fan of Push since the clips. Like I was really, really into the clips, like when they were out, and it's like Push has been good. I feel like the clips are better, but I do like the stuff that he's put out. Like I voted for Daytona at the time, I think, for album of the year. No, I take that back. I didn't, because I was really against that Whitney Houston cover. That junk really pissed me off. So like I really was like anti that.
Got you.
But like I've been pretty pro Pusha, but it's like I feel like we should be honest about the music, where it's just like you're gonna get the punchlines, you're gonna get the double entendres about drugs, you're gonna get the drug references, you're gonna get the flow, but it's just like that's kind of it. Like nothing's going to wow you, is what I'm saying. It's like there was nothing where I was like, yo, you need to run that back, except for that Hope verse. That's what I mean. It's like, and I think that's kind of like my feeling on it, is like, well, you put someone else on there, and like they brought the spark, and it's like you weren't the spark on there. You know what I'm saying? And I think like that's kind of like what I'm trying to get at. Okay.
All right, well, let's see what's next for Push. Let's see what I like I said, I'm interested about the title of the album and what it leads to.
Okay, I can't believe that you tried to start this with Antonio Brown's album. Release. Like,
I figured we'd just get it out the way. It was an appetizer that everybody was like, I thought this was gonna taste differently.
Appetizer.
He's got some features on there, though.
It's like the pickle spear.
He got
like,
some features on there.
Takes one bite.
He's got some features on there, though.
That's okay.
He paid some people to be on this album.
That's okay. Isn't it like the Baby and like Young Thug and like all that stuff?
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
You can miss me with all that.
You brought it back up. I was over it. All right, and last but not least for Digging in the Crates, we have ASAP could be facing 14 years in prison.
The boy Drake was working overtime, boy. Let me tell you. You're gonna get to Riri one way or another.
Yeah. So I had forgotten why he was even being charged. But I guess they him and Rihanna went on a trip to Barbados. As soon as he landed in LAX, they cuffed him up and took him away. But I guess this was in regards to an incident that happened in the UK.
I guess so.
It was like, so from what I remember, some type of fan was being like aggressive towards him. I don't know if he was trying to get an autograph or he was talking crazy or whatever it was, but he approached ASAP on some, I'm feeling a little defensive right now. And I think they put pause on him.
I think so. And then he pulled out. Cause like that, I think that's what everything is stemming from, is that he pulled that yap
Yeah,
out.
but I thought it was like somebody in his entourage who pulled out.
Word on the streets is somebody in his entourage is the person who snitched on him.
Oh no, it's probably the person who brought it out. Just like, nah, it wasn't mine. It's ASAP's.
Like, and it was like mind you, it's someone in the crew whose name begins with ASAP. So it's like you like in the squad.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's the word on the streets.
That sounds crazy. See? You better watch some episodes of Atlanta. Be the closest one to you. That's wild. I didn't know that. My concern is, I won't say my concern, but like, if it happened in UK, it's like another country, right?
Yep.
So is he being extradited to London for his case? Is he being charged in America? Because it didn't actually happen in America. So I don't even know how this works.
I don't know how it works either. There's been like way too much stuff going on, like in general. So like I didn't follow this like too closely.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know, like another black man locked up in this way. Like he's got I guess Rihanna's due like really soon type of deal.
Like really soon. Like he could miss the birth of his child soon.
Yeah. And it's just like, it sucks like in all types of aspects like that. I hope that this somehow either blows over, pay the fine, because like nobody got hurt from this.
No.
So it's just like pay the fine, whatever it is, like do probation or whatever the house arrest or whatever the thing you need to do. So let that man go home and see his kid then.
Right. Man, house arrest will still make him miss the birth though.
Unless you have a home birth.
That sounds crazy.
Why?
We had a baby at the crib because daddy's on an ankle bracelet. That sounds crazy, man.
You see that during that FaceTime.
Huh?
You see that during that FaceTime.
Heck no.
No, if you want an ankle monitor, can't you go to certain places though? Like if you approve it with your parole officer?
I'm pretty sure you can approve to go certain places.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still crazy. Like up to 14 years.
That's the part that gets me. I'm like, yo, 14 years.
And the only thing I can see is because the brandishing of a weapon as an unlicensed carrier. That's probably what most of that time would.
How'd you get it through customs to get to the UK?
Right. I definitely got it from somebody in the UK. Like, oh man, this is crazy, man. Somebody was, oh man, listen, I can't, man. It reminds me of that, who's the dudes who have the influencer house, RDC.
Oh, Supreme Dreams.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they have a new video where dudes like, this how rappers be acting these days. He's like, I need you to take a case. I need you to be in the streets. He was like, what? I'm out of here. You're not even tough like that. It's like you got to be careful of the people you have around you, but you also got to be careful of like the influencership, I guess, of like people around you that are like, oh yeah, you don't need to stand for that. I'm like, but I don't care. But you should care. It's just,
you 100% should.
Now I make this reckless decision because you feel like I should care about something that's not important, and now nobody's in my corner. And of course, it could be 30 of us here, but guess who's going to take the blame? I am, because that's the only person that people recognize or know. I could not even be involved. I could just be walking by a group of people and be like, yeah, it was a group of people with ASAP in the back. It's like what? Like I was just came here because my favorite bakery is over here. I didn't even know what was going on. So like, man, I don't know, man. I hope ASAP makes it through. Hope he don't miss the birth of his first child. Hope him and Rihanna are okay, because this is a bunch of nonsense.
I know my man Aubrey's got the shirt ready. Mm-hmm. I may not be the stepfather, but I'm the father that stepped up.
Stop it.
He's ready.
Stop it. It's just too much of the whackness. Like I said, people are human. You shouldn't be able to approach them any old type of way. And then when something goes wrong, now all of a sudden you the victim. I hate situations like that.
I was trying to find a place to put this in here because like obviously we only talk about basketball and football, but the Mike Tyson incident.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Okay. So was that your segue?
I was gonna segue to it, but that's fine. I like the fact that we're on the same platform, same level of anticipation.
Because we didn't discuss it at all, breaking it down. I knew for a fact I was gonna talk about it.
I was definitely gonna segue to it. So for those who don't know, Mike Tyson was taking a plane. I don't know where he was going or where he was coming from.
Which doesn't matter.
But, some dude is like literally a seat behind Mike Tyson and keeps leaning over the seat to take selfies. Mike Tyson said, hey, chill. The guy continues to lean over the seat and take selfies. He's like, yo, out of my space, please. Guy continues to take selfies and act all ignorant. And then Mike turns around and gives him the fisticuffs. And then they blew the whole situation up. Now, I'm not saying that Mike is right for putting hands on him. I'm not saying he's wrong. Like, you're in my personal space. I'm repeatedly asking you to leave me alone. How many of y'all done been on a plane with some baby that's been crying or some kid that's kicking your seat and you want to do way more than what Mike Tyson did? So he turned around and put hands on him. And of course, how the report reads is a fan was taking some harmless selfies with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson turned around and pelted him with repeated uppercuts until he drew blood. And the passenger bloodily walked away from the incident okay. Like I just hate the way the situation was painted. Like, you made it. They tried to make Mike Tyson seem
literally
like
everywhere that I saw it, it was all painted the other way.
Okay.
Where it was like, man harasses Mike Tyson and gets what's coming to him.
That's what's up. I need that article. Send me that article.
You got to be on my Twitter, man. My Twitter is different.
I want to read that one. I want to read
TMZ.
that one.
That's how TMZ reported it. Like, they were the first person.
That's what's up.
Because the thing is, like, there was also 2 videos. So like, there's the one video.
I didn't see any videos.
You didn't see any of the videos.
No, I only saw the pictures.
Well, he didn't hit him with uppercuts.
It just shows Mike halfway over the seat.
I was gonna say, because he didn't hit him with uppercuts. He hit him with a couple of these, like, almost a couple cocotazos.
With them quick close ones, like, I told you. Stop it.
He hit him with like maybe like 3 or 4 of them. But it was like, he didn't full force hit him. But it was just like, I need you to know, don't reach back over the seat type of deal. But the first video was from some guy that was like across the aisle. And he's recording it. But it's like, he noticeably only records, like, he records the dude when he goes over, he records when he goes over, and then when he comes back, it's when the dude's bleeding, like, from his head and stuff like that.
Look
so
more like scratches than blood.
So then somebody behind him filmed it from a different angle, and it's like, it films like when he keeps going over, and Mike's like, yo, like, that's enough, like, stop, and stuff like that, and then he goes over, and then he hits him and stuff like that. People are too comfortable with celebrities, and they're too comfortable.
Right, I gave you several warnings.
Like, I mean, this is the kind of culture that we created, right? With this everybody wants to be the victim type of deal. And it's like, they feel like they should be able to have access to anybody that they want to and be able to do anything that they want to. Because they're like, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to hit me? You're going to hit me? Because then I'll call the cops and then like, I'll do this or whatever. And it's just like, you could call them if you want to, but I'm going to, and then like, we can get the whole story situated. Like, I'll pay the fine. Like, I'll do whatever I need to do. But it's just like, you're going to learn a lesson today too, big fella. And I was like, my lawyer is probably better than your lawyer. We're going to get this real figured out. You sure you want to go down this road? At
least have the decency when you see me out with my daughter eating and not come up and speak to me. That's an Eminem. Oh, okay. I know what you said. I don't owe you anything. Like, I don't owe you anything. Like, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. I'm happy that you're happy to see me. But like, Tyson said this years ago in the ring when a reporter asked him right after he won a fight, like, are you going to stop being this aggressive person? It's like, it's not about me being aggressive. I'm a person. I'm a man. And when y'all stop writing these horrible articles about me and try to depict me as a negative person, then I'll start treating y'all differently. I'll respect y'all when y'all respect me. I'm still a human being with children who goes through things. Stop expecting me to like be this super awesome, perfect person in your eyes when you don't even do the right thing. So it's just like, I'm on Mike's side. I'm on Mike's side all the way.
Come on now. Come on now.
All the way.
We already know whose side we are. Come on, Iron Mike.
All the way.
Granted, like, if it would have been like a whole different type of video where like Mike just wowed out and hit somebody on the thing, like we'd be like, whatever. But it's Mike like, no.
From the moment he walked on the plane, like, yeah, this is Mike Tyson. I'm out here. Wow. I was like, get out the way. Move out the way. Hey, selfie.
I want this feet. I need you to get up. That's what I see now. If he was on some stuff like that, like, yo, Mike is wilding.
Yeah.
It's like that. But it's
Mike
like,
has not wowed in a long time, man.
Like, long time.
Mike's been cooling, dropping gems on his podcast and people.
I think he tried to give the dude like some mushrooms or some stuff like that too, to be like, hey man, like, yo, like, leave me alone here, take some of these and like keep it pushing. The dude took them and then kept going or whatever. And this is like, yo, bro, like yo, man, you looked the gift horse in the mouth and then got punched in yours. Like, that's what you did. Like,
right.
And like, if Mike Tyson really wanted to, you could have had a real sleep-filled flight. Right. But he just lumped you up a couple of times real quick just to let you know.
And he took his time turning around on him. It wasn't a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Unlike our boy G, head over at Custom Merch or on IG and Etsy to put that promo code Heavyweight Bros, which is HW, the number 8 BROS, for 10% off your order. Because the more you spend,
the more you save.
How about you do that more often so that way the card stays on the table?
Did you see that? That was pretty dope, right?
I thought you was gambit.
Look at that. The callback.
But like, just do that. Stop throwing them all over the place, because then we end up with the one that looks like Wolverine. All scratched up.
I'm not gonna show you that card because it looks crazy.
I know. G-Head's gonna be like, don't worry, I got a stack for you.
I got a stack for you. Don't worry. Quick turnaround.
We're about to find out if he's actually watching these videos right now. How
shoot.
Talking about I want to be a guest.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I can't wait for this one. You know, I love watching and testing to see if people are like, yo, did you see the little shout out? Oh, yeah. What do we say?
Yeah. You're gonna be ducking me like the way Ray's is ducking, slapping this backboard.
So about that, I happened to stand underneath a hoop the other day, and I put my hand up, and I was like, "Dang, I gotta reevaluate this." Yo, fam! I put my hand up. I was like, "Why does it feel so far away?" I'm not backing out. I'm just telling you.
I noticed you didn't pick up my call yesterday because
the realization of where that hoop was like.
I called you when I was on my way to the gym because I was like, let me see if he wants to come and like.
Yo, no lie, I have not been receiving any calls or any text messages. I feel like my phone is still in the Bahamas. Like my phone is still on vacation. Like, bro, why did you bring me back here? You were not the only person. Like, wifey sent me some text messages. They all came through 7:30 this morning, but she sent them last night. Sidebar, Bam hit me up a couple times. Like, yo, why are you not answering your phone? like it's
have
been
you restarted
bad.
It?
It's been bad a few times. So I don't know what's going on.
I know like Apple, when they're getting ready to release a new phone, they start making yours jank up so you go get the new phone.
No, that's not just Apple. That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
I'm starting to wonder if like Android's like, hey buddy,
word.
It's been quite some time.
We got a phone and a tablet for you. Come holler at us.
Did you already pay your phone off?
It's almost there.
It's almost
there. How it go.
Yeah, exactly. They know what it is.
Mm-hmm,
who's your carrier?
T-Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
T-Mobile/Sprint.
Yeah.
I know how Sprint. You know how Sprint do.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna cut your service in half.
Yeah,
you can come pay full price for this phone. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I can go ahead with that. But I think we segued enough. We'll get into this Insomnia Hour.
Of course. Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Save me from the inside.
Yeah, that man be going for it. He be going for it. I love it. All right, so somber note. One of my favorite shows had their series finale the other day.
It's so hard
to
say goodbye.
It is.
2 yesterday.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So Blackish had their series finale. So it's the last episode. It's been 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years since it's been on. And it's just, for me, it's just like, it's always so weird to like watch a family. Like, I know they're not a real family, but to watch a family grow up on the television and just like see when they were like young to older, it's just like, it's crazy. It was magnificent to watch. It was hard to see knowing that these were the last few minutes of that cast being together, because it was a great cast, awesome cast. I'm hoping the best for everybody. And as they go their separate ways, I know Anthony Anderson is already in Law and Order. Mm-hmm. Lawrence Fishburne's already in another show. I know.
Are they still doing shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The youngest daughter, the one who plays one of the twins, I believe she has something coming out. The brother has like a couple charities and like a clothing line or something like that. Because I remember he was at the NBA All-Star Weekend. And him and the other young kid from the Wonder Years were talking about some of the startup stuff that they had going on. So the oldest daughter still has Grownish, and like, so the oldest brother, like, if he doesn't get casted in something, people are just wilding. It's just there's so much range for this cast. And the last episode was called Homegoing. So at the end of the spoiler alert, but at the end of the episode, they have like a homegoing because like they sell their house and they're moving on, but it's like the replication of them splitting as a cast, and they're all moving on to their separate things. So they all said something nice, put it into the casket, and then they walked it down the street.
Oh, listen, right now, I've never heard of a homegoing before.
A homegoing? It's like a funeral.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of homegoing?
No.
Oh, shoot.
We used to just bounce from home to home. So, like, it was just like, yo, we just going.
No, homegoing service, man. Homegoing service, because you're going home to your final resting place. But, yeah, they had...
Wait. So we're talking about, like, this in a funeral sense? Or, like, people do this for homes?
No, in the funeral sense.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So they had the casket there, and then the dudes came and picked the casket, but it was like they was like dancing with the casket. Everybody has ever been on the show, and I think as far as like producers, camera people, everything are all like they all come out from all these different houses, and they're all walking down the street together, celebrating as they're walking down the street.
That's hard.
It was a pretty. I was just like, I wish
I was like, they really twisted the knife.
Yeah,
Right? That was hard. That's how I didn't even watch the show, and I was like, damn,
I wish I was there. It's like the casket comes out first, and then it's like the somber music, and then the music changes, and the dudes holding the casket start dancing. They were like hitting the name. Then the family comes out, and then like all these people just come out of everywhere. They're all wearing black. Everybody that's walking down the street is wearing black. It was super dope.
I kind of want to just watch the finale. That sounds dope.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I thought they were gonna do a Faith Evans, and I'm hopeful. Yes, I am. Anthony Anderson.
I would have been so mad.
Get your money, man.
But that would have been hilarious too.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they would have done it funny.
I always enjoyed the show because they managed to balance the comedy with the seriousness, the realistic aspect of a black family living in a rich neighborhood and doing well for themselves, and the expectations of what their neighbors expect from them, how it is to navigate through their professions, how it is to raise their children. They still made sure to stay conscious and stay up to date on like the current events, and even stuff like they had a whole Juneteenth episode.
I remember
that
that
was
one.
like fire. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it's really tough to do that this day and age and still stay true to like who you are, I guess. And they did a really good job with that over the 8 years, and a lot of respect to that cast and crew.
I think it's always, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's like, it always seems like the people that do those things, like talk about serious topics, like the best are comedians and like comedy shows, because like they always say like the funniest people are the people that have been through the most. And it's like, that's why they're able to take jokes and stuff like that. But it's like, they also know how to balance the comedy with the seriousness, and then know how to find the funny in something that's tragic and stuff like that. So like they always done like a pretty good job of like not coming across like too corny and stuff like that. So like that's the thing, is like I didn't really watch the show, but like anytime that they did like a special episode or things like that, I always saw like the clips from it, and I'm like, oh man, like that was really smartly done or really well done.
Right. And it wasn't, and I like the fact that it wasn't always like
preachy.
Wasn't preachy, and it wasn't the stereotypical thing like in a different world, you know what I mean, dude gets harassed by the cops.
Yep.
And Fresh Prince, Carlton and Will get arrested under false pretenses.
Because that's like we used to do, was a very special episode.
Right, and it's just always the super intense moment that leads to the message. They were kind of just like, no, we just gotta touch on the topic. There are gonna be some intense moments, but this isn't gonna be like something really bad happened, so that's the only reason we're talking about this. Like, no, we're talking about it because it's important. Like literally every episode starts with like, this is what this episode is going to be about, like a black man's working and like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's how it goes through the episode. So it's just like
the white baby in the elevator.
Listen.
I love how everybody understood that as soon as they watched it. I was like, hey, that
bro, you don't know how many people I shared that video with before it became a video. Like I'm literally watching the episode, and I was just like, somebody else has to laugh at this. Somebody's gonna love this show just because that's when that man went running out that elevator.
He's like, oh yeah. And then Diaco came up later. He's like, you see that white baby now? They tried to get me. You sound crazy.
Yo, it's hilarious. That man opened up, he just let that door close.
You ain't trying to help her? Yeah, no.
Taking the stairs. I'm taking the stairs. It's over. But yeah, so shout out to like that whole Blackish crowd. I don't know like who the director and producers were. I should have looked that up, but I have no doubt that the creative process has something to do with the cast.
Absolutely. I know Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross have like a huge say-so on a lot of stuff that goes on.
And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the comedic relief is helped by Dion Cole, because he's an outstanding comedian as well. So
absolutely.
It's a great job.
Okay.
All right. We'll segue into our next one.
Okay.
Because I'm a little upset. And you text me at the same time that I was thinking it.
Okay.
Is that why did Snowfall wait to the finale to get good?
I was like, oh, finally. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, why have I not felt this entire season?
Listen, that joint started getting fire. I was like, there has to be 20 minutes left in this episode. It was like 2 minutes. I was like, what? This is what you got lately, man? I was like, yo, listen, if this next season comes in dragging and doesn't start from where the season ended, I'm all set. I'm all set because I need to know what happens from here on.
It is the final season though.
The next season.
Next
Yes,
season's
I
the
know.
final
So
season.
you know what that means. Everybody gonna
Yeah.
die. Everybody
Bodies,
gonna die.
bodies.
Everybody gonna die. Pachoom. Everybody gonna die tonight. But listen, it was fire. Spoiler alert. Here it is. Like Franklin Saint is out of his mind right now.
And he has a right to be.
He does and he doesn't.
Is he out of his mind?
He does and he doesn't.
Or is Teddy out of his mind?
Teddy is, I didn't like Teddy before. I hate Teddy now because you are exactly who I expected you to be.
They are who we thought they
Yes,
were.
bro. Like, come on, man. Like, yo. And then Oso, to do Oso like that, bro. I was like, yo, listen, man.
My body just got tense.
Yo, listen.
I was like,
listen.
I'm like legit mad at how you did Oso.
So listen, Franklin has been wilding.
Yep.
Some of this, I won't say he deserved, but some of this he kind of had coming by the way he was carrying himself.
Absolutely.
Some of the decision that he's been making has led to this. What else did you expect?
Mm.
You know what I mean? But like the way he's acting now is just like, yo, this joint about to get crazy. Oso was literally A1, day one, kept it a super 100 with everybody. For you to do this to him, like you literally could have let him fly.
Broke my heart, bro.
You literally could have let him fly. Like if there's anybody on the show that I'm completely not worried about, like I feel like Oso could get captured by 3 different secret agents. They all have 3 hours to torture him, totaling 9 hours of torture. And he would say, can I go back to wrestling? like I don't know what you're talking about.
Como se dice, mija.
Right, man. The wifey and the kids is waiting at the crib like we still going on the trip.
I forgot how bad his little wifey was too.
Yeah,
I think I showed her. I was like,
yeah, we still going on the trip. She was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Yeah, man. He set that man all the way up, man. That man's doing people dirty, man. But what do you expect? What do you expect? Teddy's been a sucker. He's been a sucker.
Boom, 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 boom.
I just
Tell
got your
me
text
what
at
you
9:30.
got. Are you being for real?
Yes.
I sent that literally last night at 11 o'clock.
That's crazy.
Yo, RIP to my man Javi.
Yo.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. For some reason, I knew this was going to happen because I told you he had that super real moment at the wedding where I was like, yo, the one person who's super balanced and super like dropping gems right now at this wedding, like he's not wilding. Right. Javi's just like kicking it like, yeah, I knew for 3 hours ago we was on LSD. Like he's dropping gems on Leon. He's talking to people. And like I said, he was mad, even killed. Like, oh, I know what's going on. I can handle this. As soon as I seen that, I was just like, man, they about to murk Javi, man. They about to murk Javi. And sure enough.
When my man started singing them Hebrew spirituals.
Yes.
I was like, yo, this episode, right?
Yeah.
Like I was watching while playing something. I'd like the last I'm going to get my choke. Like by the last 15 minutes, I stopped, paused everything, and I was like, yeah, I can't believe this how they do it.
Literally the epitome of I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Like that man, that man saw it. That man hit him in the gut. He could have started pleading. He could have been like, yo, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And I mean, it was like, all right, man, I already know where this is going to. That man stood up. That man was like, sorry, Javi. That man, I ain't trying to listen to you, man. Let's get through it, man. Let's get through it. So I was just like, yo. And he sniffed dude out right away. I was like, oh, you KGB.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you think I wasn't gonna know that, fam? Like he's just
like, you speak 2 languages?
Right.
Like, they must have ate you up, bro.
They must have ate you. They was waiting to sink their hooks into you. Oh man. So yeah, I think in the new season Jerome's gonna clam up.
I was about to say, are we making predictions?
Yes. Jerome's gonna clam up. He's not gonna be about that action. And he's gonna be like on a anybody but Franklin type situation. The aunt is not gonna care. The aunt's not gonna care. I feel she's gonna feel disrespected. She's gonna get prideful. It's gonna be like all out for her. But to be honest with you, I think they outmanned and unnumbered. Like
who makes it out of the finale?
Who makes it out of the finale?
Alive next year. Is making predictions now.
The mom and the baby mom and Leon.
Nothing better happened to Leon and Wanda. That's all I know.
They're not gonna be there. They're gonna be in Africa.
Then they better stay there.
They better stay in Africa.
Stay there. I was like, I don't want to hear.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of feeling like Leon might have something lined up on another show. Like he may do the first couple episodes, be like, yo, he may drop some gems to Franklin, like, yo, this is what's going on, man. Me and Wanda going to Africa. This is what it is.
I hope every episode they never show Leon and Wanda, but at the end of every episode, it's just a voicemail being like, "Hey man, living it up in Africa, we're having a great time."
Right.
And it's just like, glad to hear that Leon's doing
right.
okay.
Because I feel like so also said he had 10 mil.
Yeah.
Leon got to have at least 20.
Come on now.
At least 20.
Come on now.
At least. You throw that in the duffel bag and we go to Africa, never coming back. I could spend $20 in a week.
Yeah.
I'm all set. You don't listen, him mess around like, yo, hey, Franklin, put your mom on the phone. Hey, Franklin's mom, I ain't never coming home. Have a nice life. Click. Like, Leon better make it out. So Leon, Franklin, I'm taking Franklin's mom off the list too. I'm going Leon and Wanda and the baby mom. That's it.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't think none of them make it out. I think Leon and Wanda make it out. And I think Louis makes it out. Because I think what's going to end up happening is everybody's going to be bodied, right? This is if I was writing this show. And it's like the last 10, 15 minutes of this is like we're in a room. And right now it's gun on Franklin, gun on Louis, gun on Jerome. And, he's got Franklin's got his gun on Louis, stuff like that. They're having this whole conversation about what it's going to be. Jerome's going to try to talk him down. Franklin's not going to be talked down. He's going to accidentally shoot Jerome. Louis is going to shoot Franklin. And then Louis got to kind of go on from there on her own.
What I was thinking was
good old Mexican standoff.
Louis shoots Franklin. Jerome shoots Louis.
Nah, ain't no way, boy. I can't even look at you right now for suggesting.
Jerome shoots Louis and just sits there. Cops show up. Jerome gets arrested.
Ain't no way, boy.
Walks towards the cops with his gun out, and they shoot Jerome as he's walking towards the cops with his gun out. We'll see. Look, he said, ain't no way, but watch. Listen,
ain't
man.
no way that man putting that iron to Louis.
Listen,
I don't care.
Man.
I love my nephew. Ain't nothing coming between this right here.
Listen, man. He also put them paws on his nephew at one point, too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Brakes off that boy.
I understand. You've been messing up a lot of our happiness. I love you. I birthed you. I mean, what I'm saying? I've been there for you. You don't come in between this stuff.
We'll see.
Ain't no look.
We'll see.
There's a lot of things about Jerome. There's a lot of things about it, stuff like that. I could never see him putting the iron to Louis like that. You're not doing that.
I feel like he would shoot either one of them. Whichever one shoots the other one, he's going to shoot. And I think Louis is going to shoot Franklin, and he's going to shoot Louis. But hey, we'll see what happens. Shoot. Oh, what if she tries to shoot Franklin and accidentally shoots his sister? Oh my goodness, there's so many possibilities.
Oh, Sissy. Okay,
yeah.
got you.
It's so many. All right, I just know they better not flop with this last season. You pull out all the stops. Don't get lazy with the writing.
If the last season is anything like the finale, we good.
Yes.
But if the last season's anything like all the episodes before the finale, then we're not good.
So my problem is that the season has the high potential to start off really good because of where they ended, and then they get lazy with the writing, and then everything like you can't go wrong with just killing a bunch of people off the show.
Yeah.
Everything gets real treacherous. Everything gets real crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see though. We'll see.
I guess we're gonna see.
All right. We had another finale, season finale, not series finale. And that was the good old Abbot Elementary.
I don't know about you, but it got me, bro.
It definitely got me.
It got me. I was like, yo, this.
Yo, listen, man. It was. I feel like we need these type of teachers in every school.
Every school, bro.
We need these type of teachers in every school, man. We need the young shorty, we need the older shorty, and then we need homeboy.
I don't know what it is, man. Anytime Barbara says anything, she starts to get me going.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she's like, oh, you belong here. I was just like, episode, man.
If you have not had a teacher like Barbara, then you have missed your opportunity at being loved. straight like that. I'm not saying won't nobody ever love you, but that early onset of knowing what it feels to be cared about always came from that teacher that went above and beyond on what they were supposed to do for you as a child. And we all have had that teacher.
The thing is, there's an episode early on in the season where they're leaving and somebody's like, Miss, I can't remember what Barbara's last name is, Miss Walters or whatever it is. And she's like, yeah, I'm doing this. He's like, oh, good for you. Stuff like that. How's your mom? And he walks away. She's like, I have no idea who that kid is. Because it's like, yeah.
I've been in that situation so many times.
Oh, yeah. Because it's in the moment, you care, but it's like you have to recycle like every year.
Right,
It's like
right.
I like there's so many kids that
Hundreds.
you like
Hundreds.
it's hard to like obviously there's those that stick with you for years.
Mhm.
But like for the most part, it's like once the new crowd comes in, it's like especially if you're doing like a middle school setting and they go up and they out of 5th grade, it's like 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 and I'm a 2nd grade teacher like she is in the show. It's like like
and some
every
teachers
3
help
years.
in other classes. So let's say your 5th grade has 150 kids in it. That means your 6th grade, your 7th grade, and your 8th grade also has the same amount. That's 600 kids.
Yeah.
That's 600 kids.
600 kids
that are moving through, and another 150 recycle through every school year. It's just like that's like you're talking about thousands of people that lives are being impacted, whether it be good or bad. So that's teachers need a raise.
Well, that's they keep talking about defunding the police, and they're like, how's it going to work? The same way they've been defunding your educational system for all these years. It's been like 15 smooth years since they've been defunding education. And ain't nobody paying attention. Come on,
no after school basketball open gyms. Too many fights. Like, just get somebody there that don't want like that. The kids can respond. All right, we're gonna get on a soapbox with this one. Abbot Elementary episode was dope.
Oh, it was fire, and like I think, it went out as the highest rated show on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I think it got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for every episode.
That's what's up.
So like
I know that the young teacher
Quinita
was on the shop on the Brown show.
Yep.
And I believe I don't want to call him Childish Gambino. Donald Glover was on the show as well, and he was just admitting like how much he enjoyed the show, and how much he loved the creative process of it, and just like because he was on
Atlanta.
No, show that he was on
Community.
I love Community. So it's just like to see that richness of the show, just like for you to get kudos from people who've already been on segments and now have their own segments and all types of stuff like that. It just shows like the hard work you're putting in. I'm just so glad that she's getting these flowers because it's like she's worked really, really hard. Yep.
To get here, and then it's like it
Did
has.
You know she was a stand-up comedian?
No, I know that she was an internet comedian. So it's like I had seen her on Funny or Die. I had seen her like on a bunch of clips and like doing a whole bunch of stuff like that, and she was always funny. But it was just one of those things. It's like almost like who's someone like a King Batch? Like is this person never gone below? Right. Or like are you always gonna be like in this medium?
Right.
And then it's like, yo, your first shot out, you have a show that has like 100% rating, and it's like you do all this other stuff, and it's just like it's a phenomenal show. Like I can't recommend it to people like enough, especially people who are in the education system.
I've been talking about it since episode 1.
Yeah, you were on it. Since the UPN lineup came through.
Yes.
I finished Bust Down, by the way. I'm all caught up.
Yeah. That means it was good.
Oh yeah, it was fire.
That means it was good.
It was fire.
That's what I'm talking about.
Grand Cruise. I'm stuck on like episode 4, I think, or something like that.
Oh, you didn't finish Grand Crew yet?
It's been a minute.
Sheesh. Yeah, you gotta get to that.
There's been a lot of things on the docket.
I feel you. We do have one more.
Yep.
We have Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yes. Did you watch the new episode?
I did.
What'd you think?
I feel like this is the episode that I've kind of been waiting for them to do.
Okay.
And it's just like, this is episode 4, correct? If I'm not mistaken. There's only supposed to be 6 episodes in the show.
Okay.
So it's like now I'm kind of wondering like where we go from here. But like I think it's the best episode of the show so far. I just like have a hard time figuring out like where I kind of put it because I'm like I feel like Moon Knight has been good but not great.
Okay.
Does that make that? I don't know how you feel about it.
No. I feel like this is the first episode where I was excited about seeing the next episode.
I'll definitely give you that.
Because all the other episodes kind of like I'm just watching them to learn about Moon Knight because I don't particularly know about this character. And then I was also like, all right, I want to see where it's going. But like this was the first episode I was like, yo, a lot of stuff has just happened. This was a fire episode. And then the ending was like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? How did you end up in Madagascar?
Gloria.
Yeah, right. Like, what's going on? It's like, keep my hippo's name out. That's hilarious. You got to watch the show to get that.
Hilarious. I don't know. It was a little chuckle.
I mean, I'll take it. At least it didn't get thrown in the icebox.
No.
But yeah. So I just like I said, this was the first episode. I was like, oh, that was pretty dope. I'm really excited to see where the next episodes go from here. But like starting off, it was more just like watching it for the entertainment or the excitement or the action. Now I feel like it has substance.
I feel like every episode has done a good job of giving you like one scene where you're like, all right, I'll stick with this show because like if they do more stuff like this, I'll be into it. Like the first episode is kind of like him fighting, and in the middle of fights, like he kind of phases in and phases out, and it's like you don't really know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then like the second episode is like he puts the suit on, and then it's like everybody's like, oh, like the suit looks dope. And then like the third episode is you start to see like a lot of things that Khonshu can do, and he does like it's almost like time travel, essentially. Like was dope. That's what I'm saying. It's like they do like one thing each episode. Where you're like, oh man, like that was interesting at least, or at least this was interesting. But it's like a lot of the stuff around it has been kind of like I've been checking my phone a lot.
Right.
And stuff like that. But it's like I felt like with this episode, it was like for the most part, like the whole episode, like I was pretty engaged. It's like all this is interesting. The mystery behind this stuff is interesting. Trying to figure out what's going on is interesting. Putting the pieces together is interesting.
Yeah.
And then it's just like what's reality, what's not reality. And I feel like that's what we should have been dealing with this show from the beginning.
Right. I just like the idea of like wanting to know what's going on, but the not knowing is what makes the show interesting. There wasn't a lot of not knowing until just recently, like you said. So I thought that was pretty dope.
Okay.
All right. That's it for Insomnia TV.
Okay.
All right. We're going to get into this popcorn, Papi.
Don't stop, Pocket.
So the only thing we have on here right now is he got some attention from upstairs. We in the dungeon. Look, he got the dogs barking.
Oh, man.
So we got Sonic 2.
Yeah. So you watched it?
No.
The kids told me they watched it.
Yeah, so the kids went to see it. Their uncle brought them.
Okay.
And they loved it.
Okay.
They said the movie was awesome. And I know they're young kids, but they was like, this might have been better than Spider-Man. I was like,
all right, these niggas are
yo, they little kids, man. Little kids, man.
Like,
listen, for them,
boys got IEPs.
Listen, this tripping, man. Yo, listen, for them, this might be what it is. You know what I mean? For them, this is exciting for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You said yeah.
Like I hear you.
Well, no, they said they thought it was dope and it was super exciting. They said it was way better than the first Sonic.
I agree. So we talked about this with the Fantastic Beasts movie, right? Where I didn't see the first Sonic. So then I was like, I watched it and I was like, am I gonna like these characters? Do I understand every character? Do I understand their motivations? And does this make me want to watch the first one? This made me watch the first one. Like I went home and I watched the first one, and the first one was just very okay.
Yeah.
And it's like I think you could tell.
You could literally watch the second one without having to watch the first one.
You honestly could. Like there's like very little things, like knowing like people's relation to each other and stuff like that. Like that's kind of like about it. Like the first one is it's pretty straightforward kid movie type thing. It's like, oh, like we got this blue hedgehog that's on this world, and it's like people want to experiment. It's pretty much E.T., but like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then it's like they just do it in a different manner.
I like that. It's kind of E.T. for kids.
Yeah, it's a kid in here, and the government finds out that he's on the planet, and like they want to experiment on him because apparently his quills hold some sort of energy power, or like whatever it is. That's the first movie. So the second movie is, and it's like they took, so like the end credit scene of the first movie is Tails shows up, and that was supposed to be the big reveal. They literally took that scene and put it in this movie, the same exact scene. Tails shows up. So like at the end of the first one, Sonic sends Dr. Robotnik to this mushroom planet.
Right.
Dr. Robotnik winds up finding his way off, and he gets rescued by Knuckles. He convinces Knuckles to go to Earth to stop Sonic. So Sonic can give him access to what's known as the Chaos Emerald, which can grant which his tribe has been looking for forever, to gain like a bunch of power, and like leads to conflict and all that other type of stuff. So the two best parts of this movie are Knuckles and Tails. Like to me, they're heads and shoulders like above like everybody else. Like they're like Knuckles is number one, and it's like I don't know if you knew, but he's already getting his own spinoff movie.
Makes sense.
And I was like, I could see because like like they really turned him into the Drax from Guardians.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's like he's very, very literal, and like he's like like they say like, oh, chill out, man. He's like, I have none of the chill. Like, and it's like Idris Elba and stuff like that.
Is it really?
Yeah, Idris Elba is Knuckles.
Yeah. Oh,
so like like he does like a lot of the Drax type stuff where he's like super literal. He's very much like he's like he's angry, but he's like he's trying to understand stuff and he doesn't understand the technology. It's almost like how Wonder Woman 2 is like, what? How do you get this light Sonic? Or why is Sonic so tiny? And it's like it's a computer and stuff like that because he doesn't understand it.
Gotcha.
But like he's super funny. He's like, and then like everything he does is like cool.
Okay.
Up until like like the very end where he like becomes Sonic's friend. Like that's not like a spoiler or nothing like that.
Right, we know that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then it's like he's fully the Drax character, like at that point in time, where he's just like really goofy. He's like, oh, what is this ice cream that you speak of? Like, it's like that, like, what I mean? Tails is...
I like the previews where he looked like he's about to work Sonic out.
Oh, he is working Sonic this entire movie. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
Caught that man, was like,
you think I need your...
Right.
Yeah, he does. There's a lot of that stuff in there, and it's like Tails is kind of like the heart of the movie. So he is like this young kid who's from like a whole different planet or whatever, and he winds up hearing about Sonic. And like like Sonic does something in the first movie that winds up getting his attention, which then he finds out that Knuckles is coming, so he comes to warn Sonic over there. But he's like a fanboy, and Sonic like has no idea like that anybody was even watching him type of deal. And he's like, you don't know who you are, like you're the fastest in the universe, and like and it's like he has he's Donatello. He makes all the machines. He makes all the gadgets, like, you know what I'm saying?
I see
you know what I mean?
I see what you're doing.
Or like Bulma, it's like, oh, we need a dragon radar to find the emerald. It's like, well, I built this thing and it tracks chaos energy, and like now we can find it. So it's like, you know what I mean? So like he's super dope, and like he has like all the heartwarming moments, like for the most part, because it's like he's just like Sonic talks a million miles per minute, and like he says stuff, and like he'd be like like, yeah, man, because my friend Tails here, and he's like, did you just call me your friend? Like no one's ever called me like a friend before, like because I've been like I have two tails, and it's like I've always been a freak like my entire life. And he's like, Sonic's like, I'm a blue hedgehog. Like, what are you talking about, bro? He's just like, I've never had friends before. I've never had it. Like, so it's like the whole time, anytime Tails talks, he's just like, my boy. Like,
Okay.
I feel like Jim Carrey has never had as much fun doing anything as he's had playing Dr. Robotnik.
Did you see his last interview though?
No. What did he say?
He's retiring.
From just acting in general?
Yes.
Damn, I did not know this.
Yeah, so he said like it has to be something that's really worth him coming out of his piece or whatever. Like he's got this new energy about him where he's just like, I know a lot of actors may not say what I'm about to say, but I have enough.
Wow.
I've done enough, and I'm ready to just chill and enjoy life. So he's just like saying like if it's something that's really not worth him coming out for, which I think is like he's talking like iconic role or like something real outside of his range that people weren't expecting him to do, even though he's done everything. But it's just like he was just like, yeah, I'm all set. So it may not be another Sonic with Jim Carrey in it.
I don't know, bro. I feel like he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Doing this with like think of the Riddler from the Batman movie, like when he played the Riddler.
Yep.
That's pretty much what he's doing like this entire time. And it's like, granted he's talking to a bunch of green screen animals and stuff like that. But whatchamacallit, like he's hamming it up. So his main person that he's bouncing off of is Knuckles in this movie. And like Knuckles is like a Neanderthal, and he's the smartest man like in the world. So it's like he says like a lot of things that go over Knuckles' head, but it's like I feel like the stuff Robotnik is saying over Knuckles' head is the stuff for the parents, because it's like like Knuckles is like a kid, and it's like he doesn't understand like what he's saying or whatever, but it's like he's throwing mad digs at him like the whole time, and it's like yo, Jim Carrey's in there, he's flossing, he's doing the Running Man, like I'm telling you, he's having a great time. They're like the whole time, and I was like the whole time watching, I'm like, good for Jim Carrey, man.
Yeah. So maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe it's just like stuff that enriches his life that he's having fun with. Maybe that's the only thing he wants to come out for. But I did see the interview, and he, out of his own mouth, he said he was all set.
And this is a recent interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, that kind of stinks.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, like the stuff that he was really passionate about was like the stuff that he could like really just be free and be goofy, like the Dumb and Dumbers, the Riddler, Sonic, his In Living Color days, you know what I mean? So like maybe that's he just wants to have fun. You know what I mean? So if it's not that, maybe you just say I'm all set.
There's another character in this movie.
Okay.
And I don't know her character's name. I want to say her name is Kelly, but I think that I'm calling her Kelly because that's the name of her character on Insecure.
Okay.
But she's like the bigger black girl.
Mm-hmm.
She is absolutely hilarious every time that she's on screen. And she
Okay.
was on that, and like when I watched the first one, she was like that as well.
Mhm.
She's kind of like so like James Marsden plays like, so that's the problem with like a lot of these movies, right? Like when you do like a Transformers and like you do all this other Godzilla,
Mhm.
is like you have to have human characters,
Mhm.
and then it's like you have to care about like what the human characters do
Right,
for the most
right.
part. And like a lot of these movies, like where they fall apart, is like I don't care about anything that these humans are doing for the most part.
Mhm.
But this Kelly character, like she's getting married, and it's like all this stuff is stopping her from getting married to Shamar Moore, who's also
What?
yeah, like it's
Did Tyler Perry directed?
yeah,
Like,
and it's just like every time that she's on screen, like I'm dying laughing. I'm like I actually care when she's on screen because it's like she's like legit funny.
I gotta see who this cast is. Continue.
All right, but it's like even the James Marsden stuff, like they make you care about, because like in the first movie, like I said, like Sonic comes to Earth or whatever, and like he kind of chooses them to kind of be like his avatar of like figuring everything out, because it's like he's living in like secrecy, but like they live in the woods, so like he watches TV, like when they watch TV.
Tika Shepard.
Nope. That's her right there.
Natasha Rothwell.
What's her name in the movie? Does it say?
Rachel.
Damn, because Rachel and Randall. That's what it is.
Rachel and Randall.
Yeah, they're getting married. He's hilarious in this movie too.
Yo, this was crazy.
But it's like, so like their whole thing is like when Sonic gets hurt or if Sonic gets captured, they have to help him escape. Like that's kind of like their role, and it's like they do the perfect amount of time of humans doing stuff in this movie.
Okay.
Because like think about like those Godzilla movies where you're like, yo, I haven't seen Godzilla in like 45 minutes because it's like these people are running around doing whatever things that I don't care about. But it's like they're like, no, we're gonna give you 45 minutes of Sonic doing stuff, 10 minutes of the humans doing stuff, and then we're gonna go back to some Sonic stuff.
Okay.
And it's just like that's the good balance of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any other questions or anything like we wanted to touch on with this movie.
I'm gonna actually watch it now.
I thought it was really good. I don't think that you need to see the first movie.
I already seen the first one with the boys.
Oh, so you did watch it. Okay. So if I was to put this on the nasty scale, I think that this is. Do I need to say the nasty scale? What do you think?
Yes, this is
full price matinee, $5 Tuesday, Redbox. Wait for it on streaming services and skip it. I think it is a matinee movie.
Okay.
It was close to being a full price. I think if you have kids, that this is a very good kids movie, and I think you can enjoy yourself. It is super fan servicey as well. So like if you've played the Sonic games, like a lot of the music that they do is the music from the games. Like you're just like, oh man, like we're on this. Like there's all right. This isn't a spoiler. There's a scene where he's or he talks about it in the movie, but like you don't really see it. Where he's just like, I can't swim. I don't do anything underwater. If you've played Sonic and you've done any of the underwater levels, like that's how Sonic dies. There's a point where he's underwater and he's like, dum, 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 and then literally like a bubble comes up and he's like, boom, boom. And I was like, this is dope. This is hard. Like I was like, yeah. And he's just like, ah. He's like,
any loss of the ring sounds.
Yes, there's a couple of ring sounds, like, or like they don't do the sound, but like he has like a bag full of rings, and it's like certain times he gets hit, he's like, oh, my rings, and he does like I feel like they figured it out, and I'm actually excited. There's also a big there is a post-credit scene. Okay. It's a big post-credit scene because it's like what's setting up something that they said they would never do, and it's like now it's set up for the third one. And I was like, as soon as I saw this thing, I was like, I think I'm gonna go see the third Sonic movie when it comes out of theaters. So,
is it after the credits?
Yeah, that's why it's called a post-credit scene. Okay. It's in the middle of the credits.
Okay.
There's after that one, there isn't anything after. So.
Okay. All right, I'm with it, man. We'll go see it. All right, you ready to get to this Hardwood check-in?
Yes.
Wait, why'd you say like?
Because there's another big thing in the news, and it has to do with the movie Star, and I just don't know if we want to delve a lot of time into it.
I mean,
have you been paying attention to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case?
So only reason I didn't bring it up is because I didn't know what was going on. I know there was like an Elon Musk involvement. Yeah, it was like there was like Elon Musk has relations with his girlfriend and the same girl at Johnny Depp's house.
Oh.
And then the next day I see Johnny Depp like in court, and I'm like, what the heck is going on right now? Like, so I don't know. You can bring it up because I want to know what's going on.
Okay, I don't know about that portion. Okay. But do you know who Amber Heard is?
No.
She's an actress. I would say like her biggest role recently is she plays Mira in the Aquaman movies. She's the one with the big long red hair in the movies. Like you probably seen it in the trailers and stuff.
Never watched Aquaman.
Okay, I know you didn't. I was hoping maybe you saw the trailers and like you just saw the woman with the big red hair. But like that was Johnny Depp's wife for like a long period of time.
Okay.
So around the time when the second Fantastic Beasts movie came out, where Johnny Depp plays the Grindelwald character, Amber Heard comes out and like, you know, is saying a lot of stories about how Johnny Depp has been very abusive towards her.
Wow.
And stuff like that. So because of that, he wound up losing the Grindelwald role. He was supposed to be Doctor Strange in the Marvel MCU movies.
Oh, I'm so glad they went away from that.
But he was supposed. There was a lot of stuff that he had like lined up.
I'm literally picturing everything that Doctor Strange does with Johnny Depp's face on it, and I was just like, no.
just like,
I'm just picture him looking at Iron Man like, one.
There's only one future, Tony.
Then like I just realized what you did with the Jack Sparrow loose neck.
I'm glad you picked up on that. I tried.
Yo,
man. All right, cool.
No. Only because you threw the loose neck in there. Because if it was without that, it's definitely going in the chest.
I think there was supposed to be another Pirates movie or something that he was supposed to be attached to.
Okay.
He wound up losing all of the roles because of this stuff, and people were like, you know how the internet gets. Once something comes out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Johnny Depp, so disgusting." All this other stuff. Yeah. Come to find out that what actually was happening is Amber Heard was abusing Johnny Depp.
No.
So they're whatchamacallit. So they're going to court now because he's suing her for defamation of character.
And for all the money I lost.
And that's what he's suing her for. And like that,
$60 million at least.
So there was a number of recordings that came out of her admitting that she was abusing him and mocking him.
What?
And a lot of the stuff. Yeah. So like these were things that were leaked before, where it's just like, you know, he would be like, she'd be like, oh, because like I'm paraphrasing, she'd be like, oh, but like you're acting like such a pussy and stuff like that. And like that's why you left the hotel. And he's like, well, you're hitting me. He's like, you're literally punching me in the head. She's like, punch, slap, like I'm not even hitting you with a closed fist. And he's like, and all you ever do is you never want to stay around. You just leave. And he's like, I'm not gonna put my hands on you. And he's like, you just keep getting physical with me. And she's just like, just mocking him like over and over.
60 mil.
Yo, over and over again.
60 mil.
Iron Man.
10 mil a roll.
Iron Man to do Endgame made $120 million. So you try to tell me this brother playing Doctor Strange is gonna make more than 60 mil in a film? Like, you sound crazy.
Yeah, that's
The Pirates franchise, I think, was like the highest grossing, one of 5 highest grossing franchises.
And that was him. He was the featured star in that one.
So,
oh my goodness.
They
were married.
They were married. Yeah, that's his wife. No, so like, and then that was another thing too. Is like, you're abusing me.
I've never seen a man get half before.
You're abusing me. So we're getting divorced. That means I get half of your stuff because you're abusive.
Right.
This defamation of character suit and you abusing me. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Right.
How the turns of tables.
Right.
The Office.
How the turns of table.
The Office reference. So like now, like that's how all this stuff comes. And like, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that have surfaced from the courtroom, but like it brings.
I've seen one video where Johnny Depp's friend or something is speaking, and like the court laughs at something that he says, but I didn't actually watch the video. I just seen the headline.
It made like a couple of jokes and stuff like that, but things are really, really leaning towards Johnny Depp's way in this, and like a lot of this stuff is coming out. But like one of the biggest things I got, and one of the things that made me the most happy is because like what they're trying to do is they're trying to paint him as an addict, like on cocaine, he was on opioids and like all the other stuff. But like there's this moment where like the prosecutor like asks him, he's like, oh, like when was the last time like you were on opioids? And Johnny Depp like smiles, he's like, it's been almost 2 years. Like yeah, because like he kicked all that type of stuff or like whatever. And so like that, and they're like, yeah, but like were you like at this time? And he was just like, at that time, no. He's like, I literally just stopped like right before that and stuff like that. He's like, I used to do this, I used to be on this, and he's like, I was like this because I was literally fearing for my life. My kids saw what she was doing to me and they left, and they were my kids had not spoken to her. He's like, my kids are smarter than me because like they saw her for who she was, and they did so, and like they cut the cord out real quick. And he was like, and that's honestly my kids are the reason why I became clean. And it's just like, yo, man. So it's just like, yo, and like the hashtag justice for Johnny has been like a big thing.
What?
Yeah, like everybody.
Oh no, I missed all of that.
Yeah, and then like people have been calling for her to get taken out of the Aquaman movies and stuff like that. And like, you know, like they're like, yo, like get Amber up out of Hollywood, get her up out of this, and like let's get Johnny Depp some roles. So like that's been one of the reasons why Aquaman 2 has been taking such a long time to come out is because like they're trying to figure out what to do with this character because her character is a pretty big character in these movies.
Yo, that is crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy. I'm glad you brought that up because I know nothing about any of this.
Yeah,
that Elon Musk joint might have been
I was gonna say I have no idea what you're talking about.
That might have been fake.
I was waiting for you to talk about because like I have no context to this, but apparently there's a story where she takes a dump in their bed, and it's like apparently that came up in court yesterday. I don't know the logistics around that, but this is like she was doing some wild stuff. And the thing
they
is,
literally
like,
tell you not to do that.
In these in these tapes of her talking though, she sounds so crazy, bro. Like she sounds nuts, and it's like I don't know how he's getting these recordings, but like his bodyguard has talked about how he's had to like separate them, and like how she's like scratched his face up, and like how she's lumped his eye up. There's other co-stars from other movies that she's been on have started to come out and be like on set. She's like, hyper aggressive, and then like she'll put hands on people and like stuff like that.
Oh no, it's over.
So like
it's
like you can already
over.
see where it's coming. It's about to be tumbleweeds and stuff like that.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over. Closing time. Yo, that is crazy. Justice for Johnny.
Hashtag, man. I want to see my boy do good now. I've never been the hugest Johnny Depp fan, but it's like I always like rooted for the guy. Like I never thought he was awful. I didn't like the pirate movies like that, and I know that puts me in the minority. There's like a lot of people.
I think I watched one, but it was just like I didn't know which one and which order they were going in at one point, so I just stopped watching them. But the one I watched was not entertaining.
Yeah, like I thought they were fine movies. Right. Like I just
messed up Willy Wonka, but it is what it is.
Don't get me started on that movie.
It is what it is.
But like,
I go back to old Johnny. I was about to say I go back to old Johnny. It's not gonna be a cultural gym, man. Sorry.
We had a thing last night, like a couple of my friends, like we were just talking, and like because they're like, what is going on with this thing? And then like I'm doing the same thing to you right now, where it's like I'm dumping, and they're just like, why do you know all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know, I just pay attention to random stuff that goes on. And then it's just like, then it was just like, what's your favorite Johnny Depp movie? I was like, I can't believe it is like 1:00 in the morning, and this is what we're doing right now. Right. Like our top Johnny Depp. Right. I was like, I'm just gonna say Edward Scissorhands and call it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I've never been like a huge like. I don't think I watched Sweetie Todd and like stuff like that. So
I watched the first
blows up
Nightmare on Elm Street, and he's in it.
The Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes.
Oh,
Freddy Krueger.
My head was The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's why. Yeah, he dies and he's like one of the first ones to die in Nightmare.
No, he's like one of the last ones.
No, he dies.
Yeah. I mean, everybody does.
Nah, the final girl always makes it.
Nope. Because in the final scene, they like get into a car and it's got Freddy Krueger's sweater design on. Yeah, she's like, "Mom, what's going on?" And Mom gets snatched in the window. Like,
that's right, with a real crazy long arm. It goes like the puppet legs.
Right.
I forgot all about that.
I'm like, is that Johnny Depp? I was like, that is Johnny Depp. So it's like it was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you know.
I would have liked Johnny Depp, Doctor Strange, because I feel like he would have played it like a little bit more weird. Like, there's no way he's not putting beads like in his hair and stuff like that. And it's like
I can see him as the demented Strange, like the one he has to fight against. I could see him in that role.
That would be dope. But it's like I think like because this Doctor Strange, like he's not really funny.
Right.
He's like snarky. Like he's kind of like almost like Tony Stark. Like he's like almost like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like a legit funny, like crazy Doctor Strange would have been. I think he would have enjoyed his movie a bit more. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. It's like, because it's like I've always been bothered by the Dormammu. I've come to bargain.
Hey, it is what it is. But that is definitely crazy. I'm glad you brought it up because I did not know any of that. I didn't know what he was in court for. I was just like, man, Johnny's in court. What is he doing now?
Fighting for his mom in life.
Right.
Like,
literally. Sheesh. This man's doing super rocks. And one mixtape. This man turned into Professor and hot sauce all at the same time.
That's Kyrie Irving, the way he be dribbling the air off the ball. My man. How do you want to start?
We'll start right there. KD lost another game for the Nets, bro. Stop bringing up Kyrie's name, man. This man is doing everything in his power to make sure that this man is getting his shots off. This man goes 0 for 11 in the fourth quarter.
Do you think what's the struggle that goes on inside Beavis' head when he's watching this? Because it's like, yes, my Celtics are winning, but then it's like the guy who I'm saying is the greatest of all time.
Oh,
like what hurts him more?
I'm gonna wait for the reply because he is an avid watcher. And he's
as LeBron's watching from Cancun. Like that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Listen.
Let me tell you about.
I can't say much. That man was like, where can you? He sent me a text that was like, where can you go to watch 12 millionaires watch the NBA playoffs? And he was like, the New York Knicks locker room. I was just like, oh, that's messed up.
Ouch.
Hey, but it's okay because like he put a very tough wager out there, man. They still have to make the Eastern Conference Finals, and there's a lot of weaponry out there to stop that from happening. So
we're gonna get to these other series, but it's like the road might be kind of clearing up for them. It seems like. I'm just saying, but it's like we can talk, but we'll talk about like this Boston and Nets game right now.
I think Nets win the next two.
Did Kyrie use all his powers that he had in the first game? Because he looked very pedestrian in that second game.
No, bro, he's like he just got food in him. Like he literally ran to go get some food. I've been paying attention to all that now, which was pretty dope. He ran, got a banana. Like that fatigue sets in.
Yeah,
and
no joke. I don't disagree.
When that fatigue sets in, I am looking for help. It wasn't like he was lackluster. Would you want another 40 bomb from Kyrie? Yes, but I gave you a 40 bomb the night before and you wasted it. Like, fam, don't ask me to borrow $40 and then you asking me for $40 tomorrow. Like, fam, what did you do with the first 40 and what are we using this $40 for? I can't just keep giving you money and you just wasting it. Like, KD has to carry his part of the bargain. He has to carry his part of the bargain, and that's not what he's doing. Like, he is literally letting this man down. And I'm a big KD fan. Like, I would love to have him on the Knicks. I believe he's one of the best pure scorers we've ever seen in the game. He has not been that these first two games. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if somebody handed him the ball from Space Jam and took his powers or what. But, like, even Jason Tatum was looking lackluster in the first half. And then he was just like, nah, I'm just making sure everybody gets off like I did the first game. And then he went off in the second half.
It's like it's almost like he's listening to us.
He better be listening. He better be listening and then say thank you. All right. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take credit for another man's talent. But he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And KD is not. So we'll see what happens. But I do think the Nets win the next two. The only reason I say that is because KD will be more comfortable at home. Kyrie would have got a significant rest and has like replenish himself to the point to where I think they can work together. And if Ben comes back like he's supposed to, you throw him on Jason Tatum to guard up.
You want to make a bet?
Nope.
I was to say, because I don't think they win the next two at all.
Nope.
I think they might get one.
I think they win both.
I think that what we're seeing is this is who the Celtics have been. They were the number one defensive team in the league for this last month of some change. Mm-hmm. And they've decided to zero in on Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. And every single shot that he's taking has been tough shots. I've been impressed.
Yeah, Jason Tatum is overextending himself to guard. I don't even understand why KD's just not like pump it, because Jason Tatum's jumping at everything. Everything. Like, bro, you are 7 feet. When you jump, you are 9 feet.
Like, I'm not doing that.
I need to get out on this shot. If you would just sidestep, pump fake, and get this man in the air and draw. I mean, I know the rule has changed where you can't jump into guys anymore, but you get him in the air, it changes your aspect of how you shoot over this guy. And he's just, but like if he blocks your jumper one more time, KD, we are sending you to the G League, bro. This is crazy.
But like the whole pump fake thing doesn't work for him either, because it's like if there's one thing that like I've been really paying attention to, these Celtics. And like more specifically, Grant Williams and like Marcus Smart, when you pump fake, they are smacking that ball out. That ball is coming out, and that's how Kevin Durant had all those turnovers in the first game. And he started off having a couple of turnovers in this game too. So he stopped doing that. And he's like, I'm just gonna have to put the shot up.
You know what that tells you? Them guys is getting up early, popping some popcorn, going in the room, and turning on that film.
And that's what happens when you do the work.
This is where I need you to be, Marcus. This is where I need you to be, Grant. This is where I need you to be, Jason. And they are sticking to the script. They are sticking to the script, and it's making this man look crazy. I don't know what happened to the film study tape they were supposed to use for Kyrie, because everybody just like,
they figured it out for game 2.
Huh?
They figured it out for game 2.
I think what they're saying is let Kyrie get 40.
No, because what they decided to do was like, we're going to let Dragic go crazy. We're going to let Bruce Brown go crazy. Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
You're right about that. And please stop giving those minutes to Dragic, because I don't understand.
Yo,
like
Steve, putting up the
Steve Nash wants to live vicariously through this man so bad that he is wasting minutes on this guy. Like, come on, man.
Is this your call for Patty Mills? Is that what you're doing?
Yes. This man has been holding you down, fam. This man has been your Oso, and you're doing this man dirty, man. You're doing this man dirty, man. When your guys was injured and out and wearing fat suits so they can get traded, who was holding you down? Now you get Dragic. Now all of a sudden he's like, oh, this is my guy. This is who I believe in. You got to go down smoking. Especially with KD missing 30 shots a game, man. You better get it together, man.
When the series first started with the amazing game 1, everybody was like, this is definitely going 7.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've picked them to win the next 2. Do you still think that this is going 7, or do you think this is getting closed up sooner?
Nah, it's still going 7. I'm telling you, Nets winning the next 2.
I think the Nets are going to win 1, and I think it'll be a 6-game series. I think it'll be like a 4-2.
Okay.
If they do win this 2 in a row, though, then like that'll change it, and like I think it'll go to 7. But it's like where I'm at. It's like what I'm watching them do, and like I'm watching like Peyton Pritchard stepped up like crazy. We still haven't had like the really great Jaylen Brown game. Like that hasn't come up yet. We haven't had the great Derek White game, or like none of their like all of their supporting cast was pretty bad yesterday.
That confidence is building though.
That's what I'm saying. Is like the Celtics have, besides their defense, offensively, they have not played great these last 2 games. They've got these
I know. That's what I'm saying. KD, if you just make half of those shots, they win the game. Yeah. I'm not even asking you to make all the shots. If you just make half of the shots that you missed in the fourth quarter, y'all win the game. So if not, at least down the stretch, you're down 1 or up 1.
So you talk about people putting on fat suits to get up out of there. We shift over to this Toronto and 76er series, which is now the 76ers are up 3-0. Mm-hmm. But like,
and I love the way MB was talking crazy to Aubrey.
That Embiid game winner though, bro. Chill.
Did you see what he said to Drake?
Yes.
That's what a superstar looked like, fam. And I'm coming for the suite. Yo, Drake's whole black shirt was wet. I mean, it was like, oh, okay. Okay. It's like, yeah. It's like, what you gotta say? Nothing, eh? It's like, there's nothing you can say. Thank you, Joel. Thank you.
No, like, much about like the 76ers look great, and it's like,
yes.
Does James Harden look wrong?
Huh?
I think James Harden, like everybody kind of gave him like a lot of stuff for asking for the trade, getting the trade finalized, and then he kind of didn't end the season very well. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, this is kind of what you get. Nets right now are down 0-2.
What I'm saying is Philly was already balling without Ben. They were already a good team. James Harden just joined a good team. He didn't leave a bad team.
They were like a 7 seed when he got there, and like then they ended up being a 4 seed.
But I feel like they were gonna get to the 4 seed anyway. Like, I'm not saying James has not come in and added a tangible reliance to the team to where, like, they use his scoring, they use his rebounding, they use his assists. All that is great. I'm just saying, like...
Well, if anything, Brooklyn's the one that's tanked. Like, because they were 3 or 4 in the East when they had James Harden. Then they traded him. They dropped all the way down to 8.
Because he was a piece on that team's success. If James Harden got injured right now, the Sixers would still be okay, kind of.
I don't know about all that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Bro.
That's one of the reasons why Philly started to drop a little bit, because James Harden play dropped a little bit. Because, like, when he's not on...
He has not been stellar in the playoffs.
He hasn't done, like, the...
Rebounding and assists, yes, wise. Yes.
Yeah,
but
and it's like he hasn't...
12, 14 points a game?
We haven't had the 40-point James Harden game yet.
Right.
But, like, he's still, like, 18, 20 points. Like, he's been...
Yes.
Like, he's super solid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all across the board. Like
14 to 12 range. I wouldn't say 18 to 20. Like 14 to 12 range. What I think that he's adding to the but what I think he's adding to the team is the fact of that he's getting 8-9 assists a game, 8-7 rebounds a game. Like, that matters.
He's one of the greatest playmakers like in NBA history. Yes. So it's like,
you gotta do that. I'm just like, I like the way the Sixers team looked before he got there. Him getting there, they do look good. I'm just saying, like, he came into, like, he was needed in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't like a necessity to have him in the Sixers, but it was a good trade. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, I think like what I'm just trying to say is like I feel like he's coming out on top.
And
say,
as
like,
far
he
as
made the
him
right
leaving,
decision.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. But I mean, the reason I say yes is because when he can't score the ball or he's not shooting well, Maxi's carrying the load, Joel Embiid's carrying the load. Like, you have a bunch of guys who don't have a problem with taking over. Like, you got a Danny Green in the corner. You got the blue collar Tobias Harris who's willing to come in and play defense.
Now he's the blue collar Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
his brother makes the second most money on the team. He's the blue collar.
I'm just talking about as far as like his
style.
role. Yeah, his play style. So it's just like, if you're looking at the Nets, if James Harden has a bad game, it ruins the Nets.
Kind of like how Kevin Durant has a bad game.
Exactly. So with the Sixers,
if James Harden is on this Brooklyn team, are they still down 0-2?
Yes.
You still think so? I think there's no way.
Given the games that James Harden have had recently, you got to think those 9 assists probably turn into 4 because some of those passes go to KD and he doesn't make those shots.
But then think about it. Jason Tatum's on Kevin Durant. Marcus Smart's on Kyrie Irving. Who's on
Jaylen Brown?
James Harden has cooked Jaylen Brown a bunch of times.
Who's guarding James Harden right now?
What do you call it? OG Anunoby.
He can't cook him?
OG Anunoby is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league.
He cannot cook him.
James Harden could cook anybody. He's James Harden.
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
what are you waiting for? Because he's done several of his little James Harden-esque moves.
Yeah.
Brick.
All right. I don't want us to take too much time because I feel like we're already running long.
You're right.
But like I do want to pose the question. It's most likely going to come in the offseason because like next year would be so Kevin Durant's already signed his big extension, so he's in Brooklyn for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie Irving has yet to sign that extension, which means next year would be his last year.
Mm-hmm.
What's the likelihood that Kyrie Irving does not come back to Brooklyn?
He's not.
You don't think he's coming back at all?
No. I don't know where he goes, but he's not staying in Brooklyn.
What if he goes across the pond and ends up in New York? Do you want him?
No.
I think James Harden, like, because
I'm tired of taking players in their last 2-3 years in the league. I'm tired of it. That goes for you too, pumpkin. Get up out of here.
I told you New York Knicks is where point guards go to die. Like I told you, like that's
I'm all set.
All set. Like that Myles Garrett quarterback sacking graveyard. Like y'all Knicks got a graveyard. It's like, oh, Stephon Marbury, Baron Davis, Tracy McGrady, and just Steve Francis. Just keep it going.
I'm all set.
Chauncey Billups.
I'm all set. Jason Kidd.
No, Jason Kidd. Oh man, yeah. That's where everybody goes to die. Everybody gonna die. Patron.
I'm all set.
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I'm all set. He can go wherever you want to go. Just don't come to New York.
What's the next game we got?
We got Phoenix and New Orleans. I don't know what Phoenix was thinking, but they decided to let these boys win a game.
So, I mean, the big story coming out of this is
Brandon Ingram.
No.
What?
Devin Booker's hurt.
I didn't know he was hurt.
Yeah, that's why they went on the big run. He got hurt in the third quarter, and like now he's out for like 3 weeks, I think it is.
Yeah, I fell asleep midway through the third, woke up, and it was like New Orleans won. I was like, oh, these brothers blew the lead.
But that's kind of like what happened. Is like Devin Booker getting hurt really kind of threw things in disarray. So like they're kind of like.
I mean, it didn't hurt that Brandon Ingram had 40, 11, and 9 or something crazy like that.
Do you want to take back everything negative you said about Brandon Ingram?
What did I say about Brandon Ingram?
You had a lot of things you say about Brandon. First of all, you said he was trash. Like that's the number one thing. Is like you hate Brandon Ingram.
I don't think I said he was trash. I just said I'm not the guy that I'm banking on because
you're like Brandon Ingram trash. You definitely done that.
I mean, if I did, then I did. I'm gonna stand on it. But
also now you're saying he's trash.
If you're convincing me that he's the guy, I'm gonna say no. Like he fits well with another guy. But if that's the franchise guy that I'm building around, no, it's not gonna work.
So he's a number 2.
Huh?
So he's a number 2.
Yeah, some teams even a 3. Like
I think he should be a 3.
Yes. Like I don't believe that he's like. If you're looking at New Orleans, they're like, okay, Zion's hurt. Who's the guy that's carrying the team? Even before Zion got there, before they made the Lonzo trade, who's our guy? It's Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean? And
now it's CJ. That boy CJ was putting that team on his back.
And that's why Brandon looks different because he got somebody across the court that could say, yo, listen, man, I got you. I'm going to hold you down because everybody's on this Brandon Ingram stuff. This man CJ is quietly, restfully dropping 20-plus points a game getting mad assists and rebounds, and it's just like, yeah, this is what I've been doing. So I don't understand why y'all haven't noticed this. Like, okay, yes, it's always Dame time, but just know Dame has help. You know what I mean? So now Brandon has help, but a 40-point guy a game or even a week is not Brandon. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He pulled from the depths for that. He pulled from the depths from that, and I'm happy he had a great game. But like I said, he's not your number one. He's your 2 or your 3.
Okay. I think that this is definitely something to watch for, like with this Devin Booker injury. Like I said initially, they said it was 3 weeks. Or no, I take it back. He's missing game 3 and 4.
Sheesh.
I think because I think what
those are in Phoenix though. No,
I'm confusing
those are in New Orleans.
I'm confusing with Middleton. Yeah.
Wow.
So like I think he's missing 3 and 4. I honestly think that they'll be just fine. I just think it was just like in the moment, like having to scramble is what got them. But I think like once Monty gets them in there, be like, all right, this is the game plan. This is what everybody's doing. Like,
Coach of the year.
fine.
Coach of the year. He'll figure it out.
They'll be just fine.
He'll figure it out.
Right, what do we got next?
Utah and Dallas.
What in the hell is going on in this series, bro?
Listen, man. Nobody wants to play ball in Utah. I'm just gonna say it like that, man. Nobody wants to play ball in Utah.
They are looking beyond fraudulent, but like it's like
they are who we thought they were.
There's no Luka. Jalen Brunson is looking like Kyrie Irving's on them and stuff like that. Yes. It's just like, yo, you guys have not figured out. Like he's the only guy dropping points. Like they're like Mike Conley is like, yo, help me. Like Donovan Mitchell, help me.
Yes.
And it's like they're just like not like I don't know what's going on with them.
Donovan Mitchell's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
They figured.
I think Jalen Rose put it best though when he was like, Utah are idiots if they trade Donovan Mitchell or let him get away. The person you should be trying to get rid of is Rudy Gobert. This man's giving you 3 points a game.
Yo, your point averages for people who you think are playing not well is out of control. Like there's nowhere near like 3 points per game.
Game 1, he was literally 0 for 1.
Yeah.
That's 0 points.
He did not have 0 points in the first game. He made a bunch of free throws. He had like 12 points or something like that.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Great job, Rudy.
Just like how Kevin Durant was hot trash, but he made like 18 free throws. And it's like, yeah, you make the free throws, it's like you don't look that bad.
Yeah, but you got to do something to get to the line. KD shot 0 for 11 and did not draw a foul until the last 2 minutes of the game when he finally decided to go to the rack instead of chucking up these reckless threes. Rudy Gobert, he got banged on something crazy last night. All I heard was like, that's what you do with a shot blocker. You attack the shot blocker. He did more than attack him, man. I was about to say something reckless. I'm not going to go that far. But he definitely yammed on that man's neck. Remind me to tell you the recklessness. I was like, yeah, afterward. There you go. Reminder. But yeah, then Woody came down the middle of that lane and took that man's soul away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're here for. So, okay, you're supposed to be our defensive presence and our anchor and our rebounder. All right. When you're not doing that, you have to give us some points. If you're not going to give us points, then people should never score when you're in the paint. And that's not what they're getting from Rudy Gobert. For all that, you might as well sell high while you can. But they keep playing like this, they're going to lose this series, which is obvious. But
the fact that like the Mavericks can just rest Luka for the first round is crazy.
Right. Not even playing. Right. Is Tim Hardaway Jr. playing?
Yeah. No, he's hurt. He's been hurt.
So there's 2 premier scorers on this team that are not playing. Like y'all better tighten up. For me, when I watch Utah play, for one, like I said before, it's not exciting. It's not entertaining, but they also don't look like a team. They look like a bunch of guys that's just out there playing basketball.
I mean, yeah. So, like, to me, like, you can get them up out of here so that way they can get this offseason started and get these players moved to where they need to get to because that's kind of it. What else we got? Who we got next?
Memphis and Minnesota.
Yo.
Listen, man, I got a young boy who told us.
What the hell happened last night, boy?
The young boys is waking up, man. That first game was like, this is our first time here.
Patrick Beverly.
Yes.
Threw a shot off the glass to give himself a self alley-oop on Ja Morant. They were up 20, blew that lead.
Yes.
Got up 20 again.
Yes.
Blew that lead as well and lost by 8.
Yes. So you know what I equate it to?
What do you equate?
Do you remember when they had that?
You remember when Bobby Boucher showed his ass and the Bulldogs won the basketball?
Remember when they had the COVID NBA players tournament?
What? Like in the basketball, like in the
they had a 2K tournament amongst NBA players and they were like playing online and they were filming the games.
Yeah.
So remember when Pat Bev was going crazy on people and talking crazy to people.
Yeah.
Did he win that championship?
He did not.
He ended up losing in epic fashion to somebody he shouldn't have lost to, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You got all this energy. You got all this hype. You standing on tables and throwing your jersey in the stands for a play-in game, not realizing you have a whole lot of games left to play. Like, I love the energy and the passion, but what I tell my players is like, it's okay to play the game with emotion. It's not okay to let your emotions dictate the way you play the game.
Can't get lost, though.
Right. And I think a lot of the times he does that. He's been the mouth of a lot of teams, and he brings that energy. And when that energy is not happening, you have to take ownership for that. The first person somebody's going to want to holler at is the guy who was doing all the hollering. And now all of a sudden y'all look crazy, and now you're not performing, and now this is what happens. It's a really, really thin line. Like, when it works, the team's going to be up here. When it doesn't work, not only are people going to be mad that you were running your mouth in the first place because they can't focus and they can't get locked in because all of this chattering that's going on, the lows come really bad. So, like, Cat can't stay in the game because he in foul trouble playing with over-exhausted energy because he trying to match your mouth energy. Like, you're doing crazy stuff that blows a 20-point lead. Now guys aren't on the court.
It's writing checks that other people have to cash.
Right, and now the chemistry is off, and it's just like, what did you expect to happen? Now you're going back to chucking up threes. So I watched this game.
Yeah. I can't believe you watched the whole game.
They were down, I want to say, like, down the stretch. They're probably down 3, maybe 5. They kept chasing the 3 ball to try to – I'm just like, you don't have to get it all back in one shot. Just get a layup. Just get a layup. Somebody gets a layup, gets an and one, ties the game up. Then they go down 5 again. What do? Go right back to chucking up threes. Like, just go and get a layup.
There's a guy on your team that's most likely going to be on the All-NBA 13.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, what he specializes in is scoring in the low post. Why are you guys not giving him the ball to score to the low post? To be fair, that boy Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr.,
mm-hmm.
is probably going to be on – if he's not on the All-NBA defensive first team, he's going to be on the All-NBA defensive second team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been playing amazing
mm-hmm.
against Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
There was one where, like, Karl Anthony went to go yam it in there. He was like,
clean that joint.
He'd been Wallace that joint.
Clean that joint.
And it was just like,
yeah, and that energy. Bane, I think he went off for like 26.
Yep.
That's
the thing is, like, this team is like they're 9 to 10 people deep,
and they never stop running.
They don't.
They never stop running.
Oh, you getting tired? Don't worry, we got another boy. We're like waiting on the edge.
Word,
like, let's get
it.
And
they ready to go. They're ready to go. Like these young boys is like they're just out playing them 2 in a row, and they go back to Memphis now.
No, they started off in Memphis. They're going to New Orleans now. Or I'm sorry, Minnesota.
This was game 3. Oh, yeah, they got one more in Minnesota. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, listen, if you're asking me, Memphis wins 4-1. They pull out this game in Minnesota, and they go home and close them out. But I had picked them to win the series anyway.
I mean, everybody thought Memphis was going to win.
Right.
But it was just like for those first quarter and a half, the Cat, D-Lo, Anthony Edwards, it was like, all right, mm-hmm. I can see where this trio is going. I can see like what they're going to do. And then it didn't take long.
It didn't. And I don't understand why they're not giving Anthony more ISO situations to get to the rack and then get some free throws if he doesn't get a bucket. It's like
Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns pick and roll. Like, what are you supposed to do?
All day long.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
All day long.
Like, did we learn nothing from John Stockton and Karl Malone? It's just like, if you just pick and roll people
Chris
to
Paul
death.
And Blake Griffin.
Chris Paul, Tyson Chandler, Chris Paul and anybody. DeAndre Ayton right now.
Anybody.
Like, have we not figured out that like
they settled for a lot of bad shots down the stretch when they could have still made it a game of it, and they gave that game away. Memphis definitely balled out, but they still had the opportunity to lose that game, and Minnesota let it slip away. And I think right now, because of the high that those young kids are on, like, I don't think there's a chance for them to get it back. I think they come into next game feeling like it's a home game because they was talking crazy. And they're not talking crazy during the game, before the game. They're waiting till they win, and then they taking pictures on the court.
Because, like, you got to give us a job. Like, Pat Beverly is here all game long. Game long. They blew that 20-point lead.
As
John
always.
Morant still – I think John Morant put it on his neck and still just kept it moving. Professional.
This man, Pat Bev, has played 1,432 playoff games, and they all end the same. Like, bro, at some point, you got to change. Never change. All right, so next we have Toronto and Philly. I feel like we kind of already touched.
Yeah, we touched on it real quick. Like,
Um,
I think the Scotty Barnes and who's the other one that got injured? Someone else got injured.
Drake.
There's another Toronto player that got injured, and it's like once those guys were out of it, like it took a lot of the excitement. I think it was OG Anunoby.
Sweet.
I think we might be headed there.
Sweet.
All that stuff they were talking about, James Harden and all this other type of stuff. If they're the only team that sweeps in the first round,
sweet.
Think so.
Sweet.
What do we got next?
We got Denver and Golden State, and Denver pulled one out last night.
I know.
Denver pulled one out last night. I don't know how Golden State lost this game. It
didn't look like they were going to lose for most of the games either, and it's like
I want to blame it all on Andrew Wiggins, but I know that's not the whole contributing factor to this situation. But it's just like this was one game they was not supposed to lose. You give Denver a heartbeat, man, and they're gonna use it. From the beginning of the game, first tip, ball went right into Jokic. That man was like dribble into my left hand layup. I was just like, man, that was way too easy. Way too easy.
You got to give. All right. So like there was a lot of hot takes yesterday. And someone made this hot take, and I was like, I don't think that these are hot takes, but these are two different tweets that I'm gonna combine together.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Yo, Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
And he's the type of guy who's like, oh, that's your MVP. Feed him to me. Like he does not care. Like Draymond Green is not afraid of him. And it's like, this is the MVP of this league. This is a man who's missed a ton of games this year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving Jokic all he can handle, bro. Like you got to give Draymond Green, like he's outsized, outstrength, outmanned, outgunned. And it's like he be holding his own against Jokic.
Mm-hmm. Still didn't get the win.
But it's like they got the 2 wins before that because of him.
I don't understand. Like, I don't know what the issue is. And I know it's just one game, granted, but I just feel like Denver's the type of team, like if you give them a foothold, they're going to run with it. They're going to run with it. And they got one more game in Denver.
Yep.
Like, I think Steph needs to start this game.
Having Steph Curry as an option to come off the bench is pure insanity. Like the fact that you could just be like, hey, like I know like we're up 10 right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring in Steph Curry.
I feel like the experiment is over. I feel like it's run its course. Start Steph and just stop playing because they really need to have this win going back to Golden State. Because if they tie this series up, it could mess around and go to 6-7 games, and then you'd be wondering what type of situation you're in.
So it's enough said.
All right. Next we have Atlanta and Miami. No reason to talk about this one. Okay. And then we have Milwaukee and Chicago. Chicago got a win.
Chicago got one. More importantly, the Bucks, not only did they lose the game, but they lost Chris Middleton.
Yep.
For what appears to be the remainder of this round at bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's an MCL sprain too. Like that's a big one.
Ooh, who picked the Bucks? You picked the Bucks, didn't you?
Of course.
Yeah, I picked the Bucks too, but that is major. And DeMar DeRozan, what do you have, like a 40 burger?
41.
Yo, listen, man.
Did you hear when they interviewed him what he said?
Nah.
He was just like, I'm just trying to make it cool for the 2 ball again.
Oh,
I was like, brother, stop trying to be my favorite player, bro. Like, knock it off.
Get him.
Just knock it off.
Get him.
They're
calling him DeFrozen now. Yo, ice water in his veins.
I used to call him DeRison because he used to rise over everybody.
Listen, man.
But I've always had love for DeMar. I've always argued for him.
The Frozen, if they come, I know that they're never coming back with it, but if they had what you call it? What's the Game of Zones?
Oh yeah,
he'd be on the little Frozen team. Yeah, be a White Walker with Kawhi Leonard. Like the Frozen is here. Like so, he's doing it on both ends of the court.
Yeah.
He's doing it on both ends of the court.
And more could you ask for?
That's literally what you want. You know what I mean? And it makes it a lot easier for guys like Zach LaVine and Caruso to get their shots off because people are trying to pack the paint so he can't get to his mid-range. Easy little pass out to the wing. Caruso's making his shots. Zach LaVine's making his shots. And if the shot's not there, he's slashing. It's just like, I don't know, man. That Middleton missing is big. It's big.
I know, like, we're trying not to do off-season talk, like, again, but someone had brought this up, and it's just a thought. With the way DeMar DeRozan has transformed this Chicago Bulls team and, like, he's made himself, like, the focal point of it, Would you be surprised if Zach LaVine was like, "Yeah, I'm all set," and bounced to another team?
Nah, he's got to stay.
But would you be surprised if he was just like, "I need to go somewhere and be a focal point of the team"?
Yes.
Okay, that was just the question.
You were never a number one, Zach. I love you, man. I love you, but it was just it was one of those situations where like whoever's in Minnesota is going to be the guy because there's no one in Minnesota, you know. Well, and that's no shot at Cat, but it's just like Cat was the guy because it's Minnesota. Even when Kevin Love was there, they was like, why is Kevin Love not look the same? Because he was in freaking Minnesota. Like, come on, man. Like, I think the only like real guy who actually showed that he could be the guy even when he's not in Minnesota was KG. Like, so like let's not go too far with his act. Like, you wanted help, you got the help. Stay with the plan. Stay with the plan. Like, to get in your feelings because someone else is taking the load off of everything you had to carry. Like, he was literally sustaining injuries trying to carry the team. Now you don't have to. Now you get to stay fresh, longevity of your career. Y'all get to compete. If you leave, you're an idiot.
Well, to be fair, he got traded. He didn't just leave. He got traded for Jimmy Butler.
Okay. But he was super excited about the trade.
Yeah, sure.
He was super excited about the trade.
Was he supposed to be like, I'm so mad about this trade?
He became an all-star for the first time.
Yeah.
City group loves him. Like, why would you leave? You're in a really good situation.
I mean, before this year, that wasn't the situation in Chicago, though. Like, he was doing the same thing in Minnesota. He's putting up all these wild numbers.
Yeah.
But he was taking all these L's because, like,
right.
Who was the next guy?
Right. Where's Zach really going to go? No.
You don't want Zach in New York?
No.
You want Kyrie over Zach?
I don't want either one of them. I told you I don't want the last 2-3 years of somebody's career. I feel like wherever they are, they're going to get 5 years. Click. Take the phone off the hook.
This isn't New York. This isn't New York.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? Zach, I heard that you want your way out of here. I got Taylor Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, Russell Westbrook, and 2 first-round picks. Come over to LA, boy. We got you over here.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Who says no?
Oh, my goodness. To be honest with you, that would work for the Bulls. That would help the Bulls.
Do you think it would help the Bulls?
Yes. Say those names again.
Taylor Horton-Tucker,
Uh-huh.
Kendrick Nunn, and Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Bro, why aren't you a GM of a team? Because, like, we need to do another franchise soon. Because that trade sounds booky as all. Like, I want no parts of that.
You're getting all that for Zach?
Yeah.
If I'm the Bulls, I'm making that trade. Russell, listen, man. I like THT.
Why? What is it? What have you seen from THT that makes you like him? What does he do? What does he do well?
Fam, listen, man. He just needs to be somewhere where he can get more shots up. All right. Like they literally bring him in. Listen, stop making the faces. All right. They literally just bring him in. All right, let's shoot a couple shots and we'll send you right back to the, like, the rotation is so quick that there's no time for him to settle in. When he was scoring buckets for them, it's because he was getting more minutes. Now it's not happening. Now they don't know what to do in LA and everybody looks terrible. When Russ comes out of there, whatever team he goes to, he's going to be great. All right, THT, like, so you're saying like Russ and THT get instituted into your starting lineup with the Bulls to play with DeMar?
You think that Russ Westbrook starting over Lonzo Ball?
Ooh, right. No, but he could play off the ball.
Can he? Because that's what he was supposed to be doing in LA.
You have to figure it out, or you got to come off the bench for THT. Oh, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Listen,
so you trying to tell me we got Lonzo Ball, Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Russell Westbrook starting over?
Lonzo's not even playing right now.
He's not. He's hurt.
Jeez. Yo, that team. Yo, Lonzo come. I don't know, man. No Middleton. Lonzo comes back. How long is he out for?
I don't know if Lonzo's coming back. I don't know what his injury is specifically, but I feel like he has a lot longer time on the mend.
Sheesh.
We go to the next game. We spent a lot of time.
That's it. That was the last game.
Okay, so where we at with it now?
Homecookin.
Okay. I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking with Big Nasty and Uncle Raisin.
All right, so I brought this up before.
Okay.
We were talking about Lynn Clark, the
superintendent,
who was being brought up on Fed charges.
Yeah,
and I told you
I remember the Alphabet Boys was out there. And I didn't 100% understand what was going on.
And I told you I would get back to you with the full story once things started to unwind, and I knew like when you're dealing with a Fed case, there has to be like an indictment of charges before there's like sentencing and stuff like that. So there is a new update. I want to make sure I get this correct. All right. So 51-year-old Lynn Clark sent 99 threatening messages using a fake phone number to an applicant for the Chicopee police chief position.
Oh, snap.
So it's like you're going out for the police chief position, and I sent you 99 threatening text messages. So the federal charges that she's getting is the FBI got involved to find out where the messages were coming from. She in turn sent a bunch of threatening messages to herself so she could tell them like, no, I did not send these messages. I also had messages sent to me. It could be some of my family members or some of his family members or anybody from the school department or other people that don't like us. So that was the lie that she was telling. She eventually admitted that she was the one sending the messages. So let me make sure I got this right. Clark sent messages because she felt the candidate for hire as the chief would negatively impact her position as a superintendent of schools. So that's why she did not want that person to get hired and sent all the crazy messages from some app that's supposed to protect the number that it's coming from and sends it from a random number, I guess. And then, like I said, she sent some to herself so it would look like she was getting threatening messages as well. So Clark faces up to 5 years in prison and up to 1 supervised release and a fine up to $10,000. Yeah, she is scheduled for federal court on April 27th, which is in like a week. So yeah, so it's pretty crazy. I don't know on April 27th what that's gonna look like. I don't know if it's just sentencing or if they're just taking the time to read off all the charges, because just like with a gun charge, I'm supposing like there's several different charges that come with that. You know what I mean? Like carrying a gun, maybe brandishing a gun, in possession of a gun. But then, they say in possession of ammunition for a gun. You don't have a license for this gun. So that's like 5 charges right there. Right? Yeah. So it could be like soliciting an illegal number, sending threatening text messages to a city official, lying to a federal agent, perjury, like who knows how these charges rack up, what that time will look like. I'm assuming the whole paid leave thing is probably out the window.
I think so.
Yeah, but it's just like
I think we're in search of a new superintendent is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so I know the brother is in interim while all this is happening, but I'm pretty sure there's going to have to be a process because you can't show like favoritism for a position as high as that. So there's probably going to be an interview process where they say, oh, you've done so well, we'll let you keep the position, or we're interviewing candidates. Maybe we choose one of these candidates. So we'll see how it goes. The Lynn Clark name is new to me until I heard about this whole fiasco. But I mean, this is the life we live in, I guess. Like people are just like, I don't know why she was so fearful of this person that she had to send all these threatening messages, but I don't even know who the person is that was running for police chief. I could look that up. That's probably valuable information and why she might have felt threatened enough to send all these messages, but for some reason she's found herself in this federal situation and that person's probably still going to run for chief of police. So you were worried about somebody negatively impacting your employment, and now not only have you negatively impacted your employment, you've also ruined your career and your livelihood and your criminal record as well.
It just makes me think of like the sketch from Looney Tunes where like Wile E. Coyote has the gun on Bugs Bunny and he keeps smacking the gun all the way around and he keeps like firing all the different ways, and then he finally thinks he has it, like Bugs moves like the last thing to the top and he thinks he has it and he turns it around, he shoots himself in the face. It's like, that's kind of what you just did there. It's like you kind of egg on your face.
Egg on your face. Yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Oh, sheesh. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So we'll see what happens on the 27th. I'm not saying that I'm wishing anybody get jail time, But I also don't think this should be a slap on the wrist situation. Like the superintendent is a highly held.
I want to know what was in these emails. I want to know what these threatening
what
these
the
threats
messages
were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll get released.
Because that's what I'm saying is like
that might be what the 27th looks like.
If we see that these messages are like,
I don't know you.
Yeah, like I'll kill you, you black monkey, or like something like that. It's like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, I don't even know if the dude is black.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Or just like, I know where your kids go to school.
Yeah,
you live at such and such lane.
But it's like if you're just like, oh, if you take this job, watch what happens to you. Like I just don't know. Like I'm like, okay.
Yes. We'll see what happens. 99 messages though. I'm pretty sure
99 is a lot of messages.
Yeah. You ever ignore somebody's message and like, oh, you ignoring me, and how those message intensity? Yes. Like all I see is a Will Ferrell meme. Was that escalated pretty quickly? It's just it's like we're not worried about 1 through 20. But this 30 through 60 got kind of crazy.
Got real crazy.
60 through 99, you kind of try to smooth it over.
I'm not big on blocking people. So like even people that I just don't want to talk to anymore, like I don't do the blocking thing. Like you'll just keep sending messages. I'll see them, but like I will never respond to them. And it's just like you do see like oh really, this is what type of time we're on. This is why you're this. And like, I'm just like, oh wow, you got real crazy.
It was all good just a week ago.
Yeah, but then it's like, and then it's like it's always funny how they go from sour to sweet, right back, and then it's just like, you know what? I always knew you was a
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, for real. Oh man, I was about to swear. I was like, you were Sour Patch Kid.
I thought you was gonna put that in the middle.
No.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we just move on over to the Blitz.
Do we have it? Oh yeah, we do. Man, get out my way. Watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking numbers in two. When I bring that pain, what you gonna do? So lace up the things that get shook out your shoes. Clean out your locker. I'm out to get you.
Can somebody re-listen to the track?
I might have. What you want? Go rock in the palm of my hand. What you got? I got John Madden.
R.I.P. Yeah. So yeah, 2 quick things. I'll start with the one that
one of them's not too quick.
One of them's not too quick. So I'll start with the one that may be true and maybe not, but like I guess the Browns are making a really hard push for DK. I'm pretty sure most teams are.
I was gonna say, like, what makes the Browns so special?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe they have the picks or they have the money. I don't know what it is.
There's no way they got the money.
Yeah, they did guarantee 230 to Deshaun.
But
the way that breaks out over the years, maybe you never know.
But it's like, well, his is 100% guaranteed. Like, there's no like way to finagle that and be like, oh, like
he already has that check.
Yeah, it's already there.
I know Denzel Ward just got $105 million.
Right, you're gonna have to pay Nick Chubb.
Yep.
You gotta pay Myles Garrett.
Yep.
You just said they paid Denzel Ward.
Yep. You got 105 over 5 years though, so that stretches out, and it's not.
That's still like $20 million a year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like and then they just got Amari Cooper.
Yep.
He
came over with a big contract.
Mm-hmm. So it's like,
yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know. Like I feel like money isn't the thing.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I know about, like I said, Myles Garrett is due, and it's like his check is going to be stupid magnupid.
I don't think Myles Garrett's going to want to stay with the Browns.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Because he can go to a team where he can win a championship.
I guess, but it's like at the end of he's what? If he's not the best, he's one of the 2 or 3 best defensive ends in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they're going to give that type of money to Deshaun Watson, like why wouldn't you give it to Myles Garrett?
Because he might look good in a Rams jersey.
No, but they definitely don't have the money. If anybody doesn't have the money,
but they have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
No, I don't think.
Sometimes you got to see where guys' heads are. I go over here and win a Super Bowl, and then that's what Von Miller did.
Yeah.
He took the pay cut, went and won a Super Bowl, and then went and got paid. And
he got traded.
Yeah, true. And went and won a Super Bowl, and then got paid.
And then now he's going to a playoff contender and got paid.
Facts. So if I'm Myles Garrett, I'm not staying in Cleveland. It's just too much of a process, bro. By the time they get to a point to where they can really compete.
Well, if they get DK, then it's like Amari, DK.
If you were to get DK, I would stay.
Okay.
If no, then
I just don't think they can afford it.
Hmm?
I just don't think they can afford it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
We had a bit of a thing earlier when I was like, well, Myles Garrett's a better DN than Deshaun Watson is a quarterback. And you looked at me like I was crazy.
I don't agree.
All right. So, like, out of the quarterbacks, where does Deshaun Watson rank?
Are you serious? We just got through talking about this a couple
Patrick
podcasts
Mahomes
about how there is a limitation of
Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson.
Deshaun Watson.
I think we're smoking base, but all right, I'll take you on that one. Deshaun Watson or Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson.
Ooh, I'm going Deshaun Watson.
I'll concede that one. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers. Now, who do you like more? Who's better? There's a difference.
You're right, and that's what I'm trying to consider. I mean, I want to say Aaron, but we've never seen Aaron without somebody who can go and get that thing.
This man just won back-to-back MVP.
Without somebody who can go and get that thing. Deshaun has been nice without having some of the premier.
D-Hop. What are you talking about? DeAndre Hopkins.
He did have D-Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins is better than Devontae Adams. Are we being for real right now? D-Hop?
Man, that's tough. I'm not saying which one I think is better. I'm just saying that's a really tough case. I would really have to think about that one. But you got to think when he had D-Hop, they're playing 1 over, 1 under because there was nobody else for him to go to with the ball. So that does make D-Hop an incredible wide receiver, but it's like he had nobody else. But he was still making things happen.
This is the same thing.
And you know me, I love mobile quarterbacks, and the fact that he can make it happen with them feet and still have a good arm makes him, and being younger, if you're telling me to choose between right now, I'm taking Deshaun over Aaron.
All right. I think it's even crazy that this guy did not play last year. Mm-hmm. And the guy that won MVP, you're saying that the guy that did not play is better. And this dude won back-to-back MVPs. Like,
Let's
not just
see
one
if he
one.
Looks like an MVP without Parker. Without Adams.
But he was an MVP before Adams, too. He won a Super Bowl without Devontae Adams.
Who do you have for receivers?
It's like Jordy Nelson.
He's an MVP wide receiver.
What? Jordy Nelson was never one of the 10 best receivers in the league. Are you being for real?
Yes, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Jordy Nelson is not going to be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Okay.
T.O. just got into the Hall of Fame, and Jordy Nelson's
That's not because T.O. didn't have the numbers.
Goodness.
That's just because they don't like T.O.
They
were whack for that.
Who has a better case, Edelman or Jordy Nelson to be in the Hall of Fame?
You can't say that because
How could I not say that?
Because Edelman played with Tom Brady.
Okay, and Jordy Nelson played with
some people
Aaron Rodgers.
Like Tom Brady's walking into the Hall of Fame, and there's just a bunch of people that's like on his coattails, just eating dinners. Like, Tom, can you speed it up a little bit? I'm getting rug burn.
Tom Brady or Deshaun Watson?
Tom Brady.
Matthew Stafford or Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
Okay, I'm just saying. So like, you have him right now. Like he's in like the 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. All right, so now I'm gonna go with like.
Ask me Deshaun Watson or Derek Carr.
Deshaun Watson or Derek Carr.
Deshaun Watson, bro.
Well, I don't know why you wasted my time like that. Like I already knew that was going.
Come on,
There's
man.
definitely a quarterback that I'm missing too. That's like, Kyler Murray or Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. His decision making is better. Kyler gets flustered and he throws bad balls.
Kyler Murray has no offensive line and an offensive coordinator that doesn't know what he's doing.
Deshaun Watson has never. If you play for, that's one guy.
Who's been on Kyler Murray's line?
I don't listen. I don't. If you play for the Texans, you already know you're gonna get tapped in the side of that helmet at least 7 times. At least 7 times.
I think this is a wild comparison that we're making.
I'm just saying. You asked the question.
Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Oh my God. Josh Allen, are you being for real?
Switch the plurals. Throw Josh Allen in Houston and throw Deshaun Watson in Buffalo, and you don't think he can make that magic happen?
Okay, and I think that
And that's a Joel move. Just switch the guys.
Yeah, and I think Josh Allen could make more things happen for the Texans. You trying to tell me what Brandon Cook's out there? Like they couldn't Brandon Cook on somebody with that cannon that Josh Allen got?
Okay.
That's what you're trying to tell me.
What I'm asking you is, does Buffalo change with Deshaun Watson? Are they still not a competitive team offensively?
I think they're almost exactly the same.
Okay, then. So what are you telling me right now?
But I think the Texans are better with Josh Allen.
I think they still get scraped and don't make the playoffs.
I think the Cleveland Browns are better with Josh Allen.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, bro. I'm not doing. Yo, listen, you made the comparisons, and when I said Deshaun Watson, you were like, you know what? Kind of seemed like it was 50-50. So it seems like the point you were trying to prove was that Deshaun is not that, but he is.
I think that the offense in Buffalo is just that good of an offense
Facts.
But it's been built around Josh Allen. But it's like if you have another mobile quarterback, you can run that offense. What I'm saying is like the offense in Cleveland is a bit different, and they don't run it just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think Josh Allen could make that move more than Deshaun Watson could make that move. Better than Deshaun Watson could make that move.
So just Josh and Amari.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Deshaun.
Because before Stephon Diggs got there, Josh Allen was still doing it.
Okay.
With Cole Beasley, they were doing it.
Okay.
So like, why can't he do it with?
I don't believe that. I do not believe that Deshaun Watson could have did the same thing. He doesn't have
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and all these other people to bail him out. He's doing it with like Devin Singletary and oh my God, who's the other one? I was about to say CJ Spiller.
Who was Deshaun Watson's running back
right now?
When he was with the Texans,
David Johnson.
Who else?
You need to have more than one running back.
Where's David Johnson right now?
On the Texans.
What string running back is he?
The first string.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He got hurt last year.
Everybody is the first string running back over there.
He got hurt last year.
They do running back by committee. It's not even a whole quarter. Like fam, you got your 3 downs, here we go. You got your 3 downs, here we go.
Like, you good over there. What you talking about?
Yeah, you're not convincing me at all, man. I'm picking Deshaun, bro. I'm picking Deshaun.
I think you're bugged out.
All right, we're gonna see.
So then we do the same thing with Myles Garrett.
Okay.
Myles Garrett or Joey Bosa?
Well, Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett or Nick Bosa?
Wait.
Joey Bosa's Chargers.
Nick Bosa is Niners. Yes. I'm going Nick Bosa.
The Trump sport, that one.
Goodness. I'm not picking him personally because of the person he is. I'm picking him because of what he does on the field.
Myles Garrett or, man, you just had me and I just lost a person. Von Miller.
Myles Garrett. Von Miller's old.
Myles Garrett or TJ Watt?
I'm going TJ Watt.
Myles Garrett or JJ Watt?
Myles Garrett. JJ Watt is old. That brother plays 1 snap a game. He don't even get no pressure.
I'm trying. There's somebody that I'm missing. There's a big right end or left end that I'm missing. Myles Garrett or Chase Young?
Oh, I'm going Chase Young. I'm biased, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think a lot of these things you're just being biased.
No.
What has Nick Bosa done?
You did throw me 3 Ohio State guys. I only picked 2 of the 3.
What has Nick Bosa done that Myles Garrett hasn't done?
Make the playoffs.
Myles Garrett's made the playoffs.
Make it out the first round.
Okay. All right. Yes, I did. But all right, so but just using that, like for the most part, like that means Myles Garrett's like the 3rd or 4th best right end.
I'm not saying that he's not. What you're asking me is Myles Garrett a better defensive end than Deshaun Watson is a quarterback? And I'm saying no. If you're asking me, if you're asking me, like, do I want to start my defense with Myles Garrett or start my offense with Deshaun Watson? I'm going with Deshaun Watson because you can find guys who can rush off the end.
Like Myles Garrett.
No, I'm not saying like Myles Garrett, but you can find guys sufficient enough to run a defense that comes off the end. Max Crosby is a prime example of that. You can find guys. Finding a quarterback to run your offense is far few in between. And you don't even know if
he's going to play next year because he might be getting some charges going on.
We're not asking if he's going to play. You're asking me who I would go with, and I'm going with Deshaun.
I can't believe we took this much time on this subject. Like,
that's because you don't want to listen. That's because you don't want to
I think you sound crazy.
This was supposed to be small. This was supposed to be small.
Please, people in the comments, let me know like where you think Deshaun Watson actually ranks as a quarterback right now in the league. Mind you that he's taking like this year off. And then where do you think like Myles Garrett ranks along the side on the right?
Pythagoras, tell this man you're on my side.
If there's one person who's definitely not going to be on your side, it is Pythagoras. I'll tell you that right now.
Has these wild takes. Yeah. I'm about to get a shirt that says wild take racing.
Round up racing.
Hey, no, not round up racing.
Speaking of Pythagoras, the 49ers have had a little bit of issues coming on because Debo Samuel has stated that he's demanding a trade.
I told y'all when the young boys stopped following you on social media.
I don't know what I'm more mad about. The fact that like he's getting that he's asking to be traded, or the fact that you were the first person with the scoop, like that just makes me upset.
Both.
This is like,
both.
And I'm both.
Oh, and guess who's looking at him? Everybody. Everybody's literally checking. As soon as he said, I want to be traded, everybody was like, hey, Betty, open up the books. can we make this happen?
They've been putting a lot of places out there where they're just like offenses that he would look good in, or like what teams that he would look good in. Do you have like either a top 3 or 2 teams that like you would like to see him go to?
The only team I would like to see him go to is the Raiders.
I saw that coming a mile away. I don't know why I asked that question.
But I know it's not going to happen because they have to pay Hunter, and they're not going to do Hunter dirty like that. And this could be our last year with Darren Waller if we don't have a good contract for him. So I know that money is going to go to those 2 guys. So we're out of the Debo sweepstakes. But
I can't believe that we just wasted 30 seconds talking about the Raiders when you know that's not a thing. But go ahead. Get your stuff. Go ahead.
If I was to pick a team for him to go to, I'm thinking the Broncos.
Okay, why the Broncos?
Because all the greatness is shifting to the AFC West, and if I'm looking at the teams in the AFC West,
so why not go to the Chiefs?
Because I don't think the Chiefs can. I don't think they have what it takes to get them.
They have no Tyreek anymore. They just got all those picks for Tyreek. They flipped those picks for Debo. Why not?
Yeah. I guess who's the receivers that they have right now?
Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, Debo's not going there, bro.
But
it's not his choice because it's a trade.
Yeah, but Travis Kelce's down there.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire, like he's still there.
Yeah, I think this is less about where Debo will fit and what he wants, and more about what the Niners are going to get because they're basically in charge. So it's like, yes, you ask us for a trade, then we're going to trade you for the most that we can get. So who has the most to offer?
So what came out of
Don't y'all still got a bunch of picks?
We do.
Dolphins.
I mean, I would love to. Like, don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying, to get a Debo Samuels, it's going to cost you 3 picks.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you 3 picks, and 2 of those probably have to be first rounders.
We saw what Tyreek went for.
Yep.
So it's like it's got to be somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the teams that I saw that he could potentially go to, I think the one that I liked the most and I liked the idea of seeing him in that jersey was Baltimore.
Ooh.
Yeah, Debo with the Ravens purple.
That would be
with Lamar.
Fire. With Hollywood?
Yeah, I like that.
That would be fire.
So, but what came out of Debo's mouth is he's saying that he doesn't want to do this wide receiver running back hybrid thing anymore. He wants to be specifically a wide receiver.
Because he wants his career to last. I'm getting tackled twice as much as the normal person because y'all are booby mousing me right now.
So, like, I asked Pythagoras about this. And, like, we were talking about where do you want him to go? And he was like, well, honestly, I don't want him to go anywhere. And then he said, he was like, I wouldn't mind if he went to Miami or, like, if he went to Baltimore, stuff like that. So, like, the better question is, where do you not want to see him go?
The Patriots.
No, please don't.
Are you serious? Are you serious? That was easy. Before you even asked where I wanted him to go, I was already thinking of where he should not go.
I don't want to see him on the Packers.
No.
I don't want to see him on the Patriots.
Nope. I don't want to see him on the Chiefs.
Chiefs wouldn't bother me as much.
It would for me. It's AFC West.
I don't really like the idea of him on the Broncos either. Like,
I don't want to see him with the Bucks.
Oh my God! Please don't go to the Bucks. He's not going to the Bucks. They're so strapped for cash right now. They couldn't even, if they wanted to. I just don't know like who has like a young receiver or something like that to go back. What if he went to the Chargers?
I don't want him to go to the Chargers.
I forgot AFC West.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like a young quarterback that you could kind of like pair. But what if he went to Arizona? Same division as the 49ers, though. They want to do that.
Nope.
Like, you're not going to the Rams.
You're not about to play you twice.
Yeah, we're not going to the Rams. You're not going to the Seahawks. You're not going to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go out there. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Like, it really sucks to see him go. He was one of my favorite players on the 49ers. I like the 49ers. Like, Pythagoras is my guy.
They're literally losing. They're losing players just as fast as Green Bay.
No, it's nowhere near that bad. Who else did they lost? Besides Jimmy G getting hurt. And Mostert.
They lost Mostert. Then they lose a corner.
I don't think they had any quarters to begin with.
Might be right. I'm going to look it up.
But like, whatchamacallit? Like, Mostert was on his way out. He's always injured. And it's like Elijah Mitchell was your 6th-round pick that played pretty well. You still got Trey Sermon.
You got Trey Sermon.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they had these reserves pieces. So I think they were always pretty solid.
Yeah, but you lose Debo. That team.
That's a big hit.
That team looks different.
Brandon Ayuk better get ready for all these touches, or either that or George Kittle's about to be put in overdrive.
About to be put in overdrive.
Because I don't know who Trey Lance is throwing to on that team.
Yeah, it's not going to work. All right. Well, that was it.
What are we moving on to?
Heavyweight lovers.
Yeah. I was about to sing the wrong part of this song. I was like, I bet you wondered where I've been. But like, let's see that. Then I forgot where I'm at. All right. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up.
Just so y'all know, I don't be snapping off beat. He be forcing the notes. All right. He don't be being patient. He don't let the track breathe. Okay. Let the track breathe sometimes.
I take the air out that thing.
Listen to them snap.
Try to air it out.
All right. So last week was, I don't want to call it marriage counseling, but it was the married part of the segment where we talk about Watch the Throne and being careful with that wedding band that you're wearing. So this week will be I don't want to call it the single segment either. Like I feel
the
like
love is the battlefield segment.
The love is the battlefield segment. I love that. And today we'll be talking about
communication.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love that communication.
I'm not gonna lie. I laid awake last night and I was struggling to come up like what with my taco.
So you were alone in your room?
Sometimes I stare at the wall.
So what came in the back of your mind?
Communication.
That's what your conscience called?
Yeah. But so like I was kind of struggling to like figure out like what I wanted to talk about because like usually once I'm done with the segment, like I already have an idea of like where I want to go with it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like I wasn't feeling well. Like this week has kind of just been like what it's been. So like I kind of just wasn't thinking about it. Mm-hmm. But like I think where I want to go is I think there are huge keys for a successful relationship.
Okay.
Right. I'm not gonna get into like how many keys there are or like what these things, we'll call it DJ Khaled's major key or something like that or whatever. But I think one of the biggest and most major key is communication. Mm-hmm. And I think like the way I wanted to kind of break this up or like frame it, and it's like I know we're running a pretty long, so if we want, we can do this. We could just do one segment of it now and then do another segment like another time, or we could try to fit it all in now. I don't know what you think.
It's however you want to do it.
Like I said, I know we're running pretty long
right now. It's your time. We got timestamps
for a reason. All right. So like when you are in the courting phase, when you're in the dating phase, when you're trying to get in there, mm-hmm. Like, so communication is going to, why are you laughing?
You're trying to get in there.
You're trying to get up in there. Try to do what you got to do. And it's like, communication is always big in any phase that we're going to talk about in these relationships. Like it's big when you're trying to get into dating. It's big when you are dating, and it's even bigger like when you're married and in these relationships.
Okay.
But it's just like the way that it's done is just differently. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the dating field or in the dating game, communication is big because like that's how you separate yourself from the rest of the field. Okay. It's like who's consistently communicating and how do you communicate?
Okay.
So like we said before, we talked about like, the good morning text. Mm-hmm. Like that usually sets up the day. Let me tell you how I got here and how I decided to do communication.
Okay.
I was on Twitter.
Okay.
And there was this big post that blew up where this girl had posted where she told the dude, like she texted him good morning. She said, good morning, have a great day. Mm-hmm. Then there's no text messages. And then you see like, so that message was sent at like 5:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. She writes back at, I think it's like 6:30 p.m. And she's just like, wow, seeing as you couldn't talk to me all day or tell me good morning or anything like that, I see what type of time you're on. And it's like, you could just keep it moving and I'm all set because I don't need this type of inconsistency or anything like that. And the dude was like, what are you talking about? Like I woke up at 4:30 and I went back to bed at 9 and then I did this. And then by the time I got my day started, I just couldn't get to you. And she was like, nope, I'm all set. So this caused like a huge thing on Twitter. It was like, is she wrong for feeling the way she feel? Was old boy wrong for not sending a text message? Was he like, like all this other type of stuff going around. So this is what got me into like, and I was reading what some people were talking about because I was like, I've been old boy at the bottom where it's just like, yo, like I had a lot of stuff going on and I couldn't reach out. I've been shorty for the top where it's like you send the messages and it's like you're not getting the same vibe that I don't do the whole scorched earth and it's like I'm gonna blow up on you and do all this. I just won't text you back. I'd be like, yo, I'm just good. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. So like before we go anything else, who do you feel like is wrong in this situation?
For me,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say both.
Okay, how's both?
Only because you can't be so demanding that you are expecting the person to text you right back, because that means
so not right back.
Yeah, but at some point. But what I'm saying is it kind of takes away from the genuine expression of you sending them a text in the first place. Because if you're texting them to say hello and have a good day, then your hopes are that they had a good day, starting with your text message. If they did not have a good day, then you should be looking to be supportive or wondering why they didn't text you. If you make it about yourself, then you're showing less care for that person because you're just mad about the fact that you didn't get a text back and not assuming that like things could have happened in this person's day that kept them from texting you. Even if it was just like I was tired and I was resting and my bad, it's just like, all right, can you be considerate of that?
Okay.
On the other hand, like it only takes a second to send a text message.
So that's my thing. And it's like, I'm glad you said all the things that you said because it's hard to separate your emotions or to separate how you feel about certain things when you are poorly communicating.
Okay.
So it's like, if I don't know this is what your day looks like, if I don't know that you're busy, if I don't know that you're having a bad day, all I can do is assume the worst. And all I can do is assume like, wow, why are you not texting me back?
But I also am a big advocate on not doing the assuming. Just ask.
Right. So
just ask. Instead of getting mad, just ask the question that you want answered so it stops you from getting mad. So like in that first text, you could say, hey, good morning. I hope you have a good day. What's on your agenda for today? Now you know. Oh, I'm getting up at 4:30. Probably going to go back to sleep, wake up at 9 or something like that. Or you could say, hey, text you earlier. Haven't heard from you. Is everything good? Rather than getting an attitude.
12 hours went by, Phil. It is really, really easy to send a text message.
Okay.
Like
what are you not doing in your own day that you're 12 hours of just like thinking about this person not texting you?
What do you mean?
Like throughout the day, right. This shouldn't be the whole 12 hours because you're like 3 hours you were doing something. Three other hours you had something to do. You might have been at work. So like you can't really say it was the whole 12 hours because you were doing stuff within that day too where you didn't have time to check back on the original text that you sent.
We are not boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. We are dating. You are trying to court me.
Okay.
Or like we are having like a conversation of like we're trying to get something started. Uh-huh. I am not required. Like, why am I hounding you to ask you like how your day was and how your day going? Mm-hmm. This is the what you got. This is what I'm saying is like communication is key. Where it's like if you're not feeling well, if you are working, it's like, hey, this is what my day looks like. I'm not going to be able to talk to you for the next 8 hours, or like I'm going to get back to you at like around 4:30. Mm-hmm. When you set these sort of expectations, like these are the things. They're preventative measures to because like that's the whole thing is like nobody wants to either get dropped, not get picked up, or get into an argument. Mm-hmm. And it's like the way that you avoid this is kind of you overshare in a bit. And it's like, I have a problem with this as well, because it's like, if there's one thing that like I struggle with a bit, it is communicating. Like when I don't feel like communicating, or I don't think certain things are important. Mm-hmm. Or if it's like, if it's not a big deal to me, it's not a big deal to you. But it's like, I can't assume what's a big deal to you at all, because then that goes that assuming piece again.
But I still feel like, yes.
Okay.
All right. How can I say this? If it's still early and you have not like had a conversation about the comfortable guidelines of communication, then you can't assume that that person's communications are not aligned with yours. Like they may be okay with like not texting you until later on in the day when you're a person who wants a text right back. But if you haven't established those communications, like when you're dating or you're courting, some of those conversations are like, oh yeah, so how do you do a communication? Like, oh yeah, if I text you, I better get a text back.
So like, what you're saying is, in order to have good communication, you need to first initially communicate?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you have to establish what that communication looks like.
Right.
Because like in that having communication or talking about that, I may say, hey, listen, like I'm not a big texter. So if you text me, I may not get back to you right away. Because like anybody will tell you, don't call Raisin. Because as soon as you call him, he's not going to answer.
But I never heard that be the case.
Trust me. Ask a few people. They'll be like, I don't never call this man. Because when I do call him, he don't answer.
But I must have different accents.
But when I text him, he'll get back to me, you know what I mean? So and with different people there are different access, like because some people know the right time to hit me up to where they know I'm going to answer. We both work in the same profession. Some people are calling me at like 10:30. I'm not going to be able to answer that call. Yeah. But Joel's like, hey, I just got home from work, so I know Raisin had just got home from work. Let me hit him up now and see what's good. Other people are not respecting that communication norm. So you have to make sure that you're on the same wavelength of what that communication looks like, so that you know that you're operating within something that's already understood.
Yeah, these are things that you build with time and familiarity and like
all
that other
so
type of
if
stuff.
you get mad about early communication, that's your own fault.
Right. What I'm saying is like, but you need to. So if we're getting to the point where it's like I'm sending you like a good morning text, like I'm talking about having a good day, that means like we've already. And granted, this is just a screenshot that we're talking about right now. So all we're talking about is like this girl screenshot that she sent. And I think that is like an expectation of communication. Like, yo, 12 hours is a long time to someone that you are supposed to be trying to get into some sort of conversation with, and they're not hitting you back like at all. Like, hey, heard you that. Copy. Hope you have a good morning too. Like just anything like that. Like
I was asleep, fam.
But he says later on he was not asleep. It's just like
I thought you said that he was asleep.
He slept until he was asleep at 4:30. He woke up at 9:30, and then he said like he did some stuff around the house, and then he did like all this other stuff. And it's just like, yo, so like when you woke up and you saw this message, why didn't you write her back? And you know why you didn't do that? Because she wasn't a priority.
I'm gonna play the advocate.
Okay. What's the devil's advocate?
All right. So I'm gonna call it devil's advocate. I'm just gonna play the advocate.
Okay.
So we went to bed at 4:30. I'm assuming this is in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. I wake up at 9:30. I have an agenda of stuff that I'm supposed to do for the day. But if I make this phone call first, I'm not going to get through a lot of the stuff because my attention is in this phone call. So let me knock this stuff out first. That way you have my undivided attention, and then I'm going to hit you up. But that's not within the time frame on which you wanted me to get back to you. I had stuff that I needed to do. So now I'm wrong because I hit you back at a time where I was available. Because would you rather have me giving you split? Go ahead.
12 hours have went by though, bro. Like it's different. Like you didn't.
But I'm not gonna call you at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m.
But what I'm saying, you keep talking about calling. I'm talking about like a simple text.
I'm not gonna text you at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
No, I woke up at 9:30.
4 of those 12 hours.
I woke up at 9:30.
Yes.
Like from 9:30 to 10:30. Why didn't you send like a hey, good morning? I just woke up. I hope you have a good day like as well. I have a busy day like ahead of me. So like I'm not gonna be able to get back to you until here. That takes. I just said that when I woke and up, it wasn't even a minute that just went by.
When I wake up at 9:30, I've been so inconsistent about procrastination.
So then you don't need to be with nobody.
No, listen. I'm just playing advocate. I've been so inconsistent that I'm trying to be better. So a routine that I've developed in the morning. I'm not saying me personally. This is me being an advocate. Is I get up, have my morning devotion, I fold my sheets, make my bed, brush my teeth, have a little SNL. Your awesome conversation with myself in the mirror. Then I get
daily
my
affirmations.
There you go. Then I get my day rolling. Like you don't know. Like if this is still that early takes less than 2 hours. Okay, so now we at 11:30.
Yes.
Okay. So by the time it's 11:30, I'm like, okay, these are the things I have to do.
Yep.
That's gonna take all of an hour.
Yep.
It's now 12:30.
By the time it takes you to put your
I'm not a text message person.
Your pants are on,
but I'm not.
And you're walking to your car. You could have sent a text message to get to your car.
I'm not a text message person. What if I'm not even a phone person?
Then you don't need to be with me. That's what it is. So much. That's what it sounds like. It's like you are not.
So if you figured this out so early in a relationship, why are you tight?
No, because he was tight when she sent him like the message after of just being like, yo, like you're not consistent enough, like you're not this, and then like you're not doing these things. So it's like I'm just gonna keep it moving.
I would be tight too because you didn't check it. For all you know, I could have been in the hospital or something. Like you don't know. Like you don't know. You don't know what my day was like.
Yeah, and I don't know unless somebody communicates and tells me. So how am I supposed to know something's going on with you? No, it's like, yo, you sound crazy.
I don't sound crazy because there's literally been times where you hit me up and I haven't gotten back to you, right?
Yep.
And then when you call me, I'm like, yo, this, and the third happened. You're like, oh shoot, my bad. Talk to you tomorrow.
We are not in a intimate relationship.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying, no, of course not. But what I'm saying is you understood the fact that I had some stuff going on.
Yeah, and like the things that I have to tell you like aren't like really priority for the most part. Like they're just like, hey, like I wanted to tell you something funny, or this is something we got to put on the script, or like, hey, this is something that's going on, or something like that. And also, like, I'll leave you a voicemail, I'll be like, hey, like, if it is important, I'll be like, yo, I'm calling you because this happened, and like this is really important. Like when you get this message, like hit me up as soon as you can.
Right.
And it's like that happens.
But what she texted was not important.
Good morning and stuff like that.
That's not important. That's just a start.
It's important to her, and that's the point of the communication piece. It's like you need to know what's important to the other person and how to communicate.
And I'm literally saying the same thing that you are. While you're wanting somebody to feel that what you're saying to them is important, you have to reciprocate the same thing. So if they're not a text person or they're not a call person or they don't get right back to you, maybe they had a tough day, you have to be just as understanding for them as you want them to be for you.
So there's a big point.
It could literally be a situation where like, hey, this is not how I communicate. Can we do better in the future? Yes, it doesn't have to be I'm scorching the earth, it's all over with. Like you never, like I said, you never know. This could be an anniversary date if something happened bad in their life and they just wanted to clear their head for. It's so many different dynamics. I'm not saying that that's everything that's going on, but it's just like, listen.
Yet again, you could avoid all this stuff by communicating it beforehand. If we're talking, if
I said that,
if we're getting ready, if we're getting ready, if we're in this thing where it's like I said, like we're telling each other good morning every morning, like she said babe in the message and like all this other type of stuff. So like they're on this type of time. You know what your day looks like tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow this is what my day looks like, and then she says good morning, and you don't say nothing back like the whole time. Like you sound crazy because it's like the whole
that babe thing you threw in there late. Like I thought.
Wow! Now because it's babe is different.
Yes, because if you're calling somebody babe, then you've been invested in this relationship already.
And she was like, good morning, Evan. Does that make a difference?
Yes, because that's still early stages. And these are not early stages. Okay. That babe means a lot. That's not early stages.
When you're in the courting phase, like not only are you putting out
I'm not calling somebody babe in the courting phase.
But not only are you putting out a representative, you're supposed to be putting out the best version of yourself because you're trying to get this other person here.
Right.
So like one of the best things that you need to put forward, and we have to swallow our pride. We have to swallow like a lot of these things.
Yes.
There are some things that I'm not used to doing. That's fine. You can be like, I'm not used to doing this stuff, but you need to do certain things to get this other person. That is called compromise. So you need to compromise the fact that like, I'm not a good texter, but I'm going to do better at it by trying to be a better texter, not being a better, or not texting at all is not becoming a better texter or a better communicator.
Bro, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is...
You are disagreeing with me. I literally play advocate. What are you talking about?
Listen, what I'm saying is the compromise has to happen on both ends. Maybe I'm being a little extra. Maybe I shouldn't have just cut this person off. Maybe there is an opportunity for second chances. Did we communicate how we're going to text each other or call each other early on in these stages? Is this an opportunity for growth? Can we have a conversation about how we conversate? What I'm saying is like, you just don't just,
Converse.
Yes. My bad.
No, sorry. Rappers did that to us.
You're right.
Making conversate a word, it's not a word.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But
hateration.
Toleration in this dancery.
Right. Like a dancery. But all I'm saying is just like, and like I said, these are conversations that I've had before, like when I have the ball in my court, it's just like you have to be empathetic to the other person. I'm not saying, like I said, I said both. Like I think both people are wrong.
She literally said good morning. And like she's wrong for saying good morning. Not hearing from this person for 12 hours.
Good morning was wrong. I said her approach to not getting what she expected as a response. So you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Like if so, you're almost putting a demand on the good morning. So it changes the context of saying good morning to somebody. You're not really saying it. You're saying it so that you get something back. And when you don't get the something back, you're upset because you already set the expectation for failure for this person because they didn't do what you wanted them to do because they don't know what you're thinking. Yes. If the good morning is there just for the good morning, then just let it be that, regardless of when the reply comes. But if you're sending good morning with intentions, then there's strings attached to that good morning. That makes it wrong. Yes, you should not take 12 hours to get back to that person. There should be an apology of my bad. This is what I had going on. There should be an understanding on both ends. What I'm saying is you have to know how you're putting stuff out there.
First of all, good morning isn't ever just good morning. Like, yes, is a good morning and like I'm wishing you a good day, but it's also like, hey, I just woke up and you're the first thing that I thought about. Mm-hmm. You did not write me back. So that means that I'm not the first thing that you thought about all day because you went about, don't go there. So like, not only is there that to it, but then it's like, it's also a conversation starter. It's like, good morning. What does your day look like? You are preventing me from properly communicating by you not communicating at all. And this is from someone who like, I only send the good morning text to a couple people and stuff like that. And it's like, do I usually send it out expecting stuff in return? No. But like when I send it out, it's like, I sent it out to let you know. It's like, yo, like I got to you first. You're the first thing that I thought about like this morning. And I thought about you enough to wish you a good day.
Okay.
But if you don't, message me back, then I go, hey, is everything okay? But that's just me.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is like, if I did that, so like even if she did that in the middle, right? And she was like, hey, how come you're not messaging me back? Hey, what's going on? And then she was like, yo, you know what? I'm all set. Does that then change it because she put the two things in the middle?
Yes.
All right. So that's all that's driving you crazy.
It's
the fact that she didn't do the two check-ins. She didn't do the two check-ins in the middle. He can still be in the hospital.
It's not my relationship, so I don't care.
Oh, now you don't care? I thought you was being devil's advocate.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, if those two do come in between, it's just like, oh, this is what we doing. I guess I'm all set. Yes, I did not text you because there was an emergency. Or if he's just like ignoring the text, then yes, he's wrong. But you can't just be like sitting by the phone like, the longer it goes, the worse I'm gonna get. Like,
yes, because like that's hampering my day.
Man,
it's just like, yo, I texted you this morning. He hasn't texted me back. Like, what's going on? And then it's like
the person up for failure.
Now I'm checking social media to see like if you've logged in or like if you posted, because then it's like, don't let me find out that like I messaged you and you posted something but never text me back or like nothing like that, because like it's different like when like stuff like that happens, because like I've been there too where it's just like, wow, you really making new stories but you're not messaging me back, and it's just like, oh, I was busy, I thought I messaged you back and I didn't, and like stuff like that happens. Stuff gets in the way, life gets in the way. When we get to the bottom, like he doesn't even want to explain like really truly, he's like, oh, you're bugging because this. It's like, no, like I think she has a valid reason for being upset.
I didn't say she did. All I'm saying is there has to be some understanding. Like it almost feels like, what type of analogy? Like you're lending somebody money just for the sake of knowing that they owe you a favor, or you can go to them to borrow that money, not because they actually need the money and you care about them. So here you go.
And it would be like,
and now every time I see them and I'm just like, yo, you owe me $5.
No, like, it would be like if I was like, hey, I know you needed $25 for your haircut and you get paid at 3, like you're going to come give it to me at 3. And then it's like, I give you the money and it's like, it's 3:00. I'm like, oh, where you at? And it's like, all of a sudden I can't reach you. That's what it's coming down to.
That's what I'm
saying. Like, you know what? Keep your funky ass $20.
But that's what I'm saying. You lent the money with the expectations that you were going to get it back at 3, but it was never in that person's plans to give it back at you at 3. Maybe they were going without a haircut for that day. So if you put expectations on the loaning of the money,
so many
hypotheticals. No, I'm not making hypotheticals. I am married, bro. So I know how this goes. There's always an underlining.
So if Lulu texts you in the morning, good morning, you're not expected to message her back, good morning?
No, I will, but that's the expectations of our communication. That's not for everybody. But there have been times where she'll text me good morning and the whole day will go by because maybe she texted me good morning right before I walk into the building. And as soon as I walk into the building, I'm met with a parent. Then a fight happens. Then something else happens. And then by the end of the day, it's like, hey, babe, my bad I didn't get to you. It's been a crazy day. Mm-hmm. It's not like I want a divorce because I ain't heard from you in 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. No, that's not what it is.
No. I hear. All right. So then here's a better question. What's the statute of limitations that you have to message somebody back before I start looking at my other options? And we're in the courting phase. We are not married. We are not boyfriend and girlfriend.
We are in the courting phase. So in the courting phase, I don't know, bro, because it's a battlefield out here. I say that all the time. If the level of communication has not been established early, then I don't think this is a reason to cut somebody off.
I think it's 100% a reason to cut somebody. Because like what I'm saying is like we say love is a battlefield and all this other stuff, but like one thing that's out there is options.
Yes.
And like you are trying to separate yourself from these options.
I also said that.
So like if I'm not saying that I do this, but if I send out 6 good morning texts and only 4 of them get back to me, like, yo, you're automatically putting yourself on the back burner. You might be the one that I like the most or whatever like that, but it's like, yo, you're not giving me anything to get back at. And it's like communication early on is very, very, very important. That's what I was trying to get to. And I was going to say,
I said the same thing.
And it's like, it's very important to establish, like, I guess like now we got to get into like how you even communicate.
Yes.
Is a big part, but it's like, we can only get there if you start communicating. We're also working under the assumption that we've done we've done the online profile, we've done the DMs, we've done the first date, we've done this type of stuff. Like we're already there. So like I should already know how you communicate at this point in time. So we've done all this and then you want to go all day without texting me. It sounds crazy.
What I'm saying is all that changes. Like the more time you spend together, the more changes you go through in a relationship. Some things may change. It may get to the point like, hey, listen, I know you send a good morning text. I'm not always going to get back to that, just so you know, but I don't want you to be upset or feel like I love you any less. Like you begin to have those in-depth conversations, but blowing it up means that like That means like literally every time somebody does something that she doesn't like, it could lead to the blowing up of the relationship, that it never gets to the point to where you begin to understand the other person, because you're always like teetering.
Some people
on
aren't
this
worth
petty
understanding.
Huh?
Some people aren't worth understanding.
No,
Something like,
no,
yeah, like if
it.
that's the
Like,
case.
prime example. My wife sent me 7 messages last night. 7 messages. My phone was acting weird. All those messages came in this morning.
Yep.
You know what I said? Babe, I just got all these messages this morning. Did you send these last night? Yes. I thought you were upset with me. No, I was not. You understand what I'm saying? But if she could have been like, I ain't saying nothing to this brother all day because he ain't replied. I sent him 7 messages.
Were you working last night or did you come home?
I was at the crib watching the game.
So you guys were next to each other still?
No, she went to bed early. She didn't watch the second basketball game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But then you guys woke up together and everything.
Yes.
So like, yeah, like it'd be different if like
that would have been worse than his situation because they're in different places. We're in the same place. She just sent me 7 messages and I go to bed like I did not get any of these messages.
So, but like the thing is like, because you're in this relationship, you also live together. Like I know where you are. I know you're not doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. When if this girl sends you a message in the morning and it's like you guys are courting each other and like you guys are doing this and it's like all of a sudden you're not messaging me, I don't know what you're doing for the day. You could be out seeing these other chicks. You could be seeing your ex. You could be seeing this. You could be doing a ton of stuff because you are not communicating what your day and stuff looks like, which is important because everybody they need to feel safe and secure in their own bubble like as well. So if I feel like you're not meeting my needs and we're in the courting phase, and then it's like, why keep you around? Yeah, but sometimes you have to analyze it. If that's, sometimes you have to analyze if that's the other person thing or if that's a you thing. Like, are you overextending? Are you at a point where the other person is not meeting you at yet? Like, remember, I didn't say that like he was right. What I'm saying is like you have to. But you're saying they're both wrong. Yes, they're both wrong. They are both wrong. This is not a good relationship. They didn't start anything yet. It's nothing yet, apparently. Okay, but I mean, that's what you say. But then you're like, we went through all these stages, and I'm calling you babe. It's like, I don't know where. So I'm like, all right. So like, let's use the original hypothetical, right? Okay. You meet on the whatchamacallit. You meet on online dating. Yes. You've been in the DMs. Yes. You secured the first date. Okay. You've gone on the first date. So now we're trying to figure out like where we're at and like, are we going on our next date? What does these next couple of days look like? We've already communicated before. You whatchamacallit, you were real consistent while we were in the DMs. You were really nice. You were real cordial. Like you didn't say anything like type of deal was the problem. Like when we were on our first date. And then now I text you good morning and you don't answer me until I text you back again 12 hours later. We've been. Do you not just get ghosted? We've been on one date. We've been on one date. So I don't owe you anything. We've been on one date. And you can't send me 2 words. Good morning. I don't know if you have siblings. I don't know your mom's last name. You should know these things from the DMs and the first date. No, you're not talking about that stuff in the DMs in the first date. Absolutely. Because like, let me tell you, like the conversations drive real fast in the DMs. That's definitely what you're talking about. I mean, how many siblings do you got? I wouldn't know. How many siblings do you got? I wouldn't know. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite number? You have brothers and sisters until like. I mean, this sounds to me like you weren't really invested in the beginning. You didn't care about our family dynamics. Those are the type of things that get worked out real quickly. Is like, what's your family dynamic? I don't think so. We were both such like independent at such a young age. Okay. That it was kind of just like it was just me and her. You know what I mean? And then once we met family. So like, especially when you're in the DMs, if you're really paying attention, so like that's another part of communication is paying attention to what people are saying when they're saying things underneath what they're saying. Yes. So they're like, oh yeah, I left my sister's house to go do this or like that. Like, oh, I didn't know you had a sister. Get that. What I'm saying is if at no given time you told me like, yo, listen, when I text you, make sure you hit me back. Like, we've been on one date, fam. Like, you can't be coming at me crazy about this. Like you hit me up after 12 hours, like, oh shoot, I hit you. Okay. I hit you and you ain't hit me back. It's been 12 hours. I'm all set. Or is it, I hit you this morning. It's been 12 hours. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Sorry. This is what was going on. Oh, okay. We getting up. So if she never sent the second text message, right? Mm-hmm. And he just never messaged it. And then she just decided to ghost him. Is she wrong for ghosting him? No. So like, what's the difference? What's the difference between ghosting and then letting you know that I had an expectation for you. You didn't meet that expectation. Like I'm gone. She did the opposite of ghosting, which we talked about is something that you really shouldn't do because people don't like ghosting. It's like that we're kind of like we're overstepping on the stuff that we were talking about before.
Nah, because I knew she made it a personal thing when you put it on social media. If it's a me and you thing and we're gonna work through this and you're trying to see this go somewhere, then let's have a conversation.
I can put it on social media because I don't care about you no more. We're done now.
Yeah, I get it. I think you pulled the trigger too early on that. And I'm not just saying it because of this situation. Like, this could affect the way you navigate relationships moving forward. Like, you're gonna be so on edge, so quick to cut somebody off, or expectations are already so super high that there's no room for failure or no room for messing up. Like, things are not always going to be perfect.
Is not a high expectation. Within 12 hours of talking,
I feel like if you go on scorched earth and putting it on social media, you feel some type
I think it's
of
a very low expectation if you didn't meet that expectation.
All right, then just keep it pushing. But the fact that you screenshot it, put it on social media, and looked for all this advice means that the expectations were high and you overshot the situation, you overreacted, and now here you are with your stuff on social media.
Well, the social media thing, I'm pretty well, his name wasn't on or nothing like that, but like
still.
So I'm assuming, so like this is what happened.
I feel like this is, if you're asking me, she was feeling him. He was still in the figuring it out stage. She set the expectation too high. She did not. Oh my goodness!
How was that?
I'm not making faces when you talk. I'm not making faces when you talk.
How was that too high of an expectation? To write me a message back?
Listen, the way somebody reacts to something lets you know. Like, I'm not saying like the general expectation is too high. I'm saying her expectations of what she wanted from him were too high. We're too high.
We've been talking for like almost 2 hours now. I've sent like 6 or 7 text messages like just on the side doing like this.
Okay.
And it's just like you try to tell me that you couldn't do that in 12 hours?
Fam, listen.
That's not a high expectation. It is just an expectation.
It clearly was an over expected situation because she blew it up. If it wasn't that serious, it doesn't land on social media. You're not asking your friends for no advice or random people for advice on social media. You may talk about it within your inner circle.
I don't think she's asking for advice.
What happened to Joel? Oh, I text this man. He never got back to me, so I kept it pushing. Like
I'm pretty sure that's what she did with her friends, right? Is like they were just like, hey, what happened? What was the name I used before? Like Eric.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like I was talking to Eric. Whatever happened to Eric?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, like this brother didn't even text me back. Like after 12 hours, so it's like I just dropped him. And they were just like, oh, like that sounds a little crazy. It's like, I don't think that I sound crazy. And then it's like, you tell the other friend, and then you tell the other friend. It's just like, you know what? Like, let me put the post out there. Let me see what everybody else thinks. Like, I don't think that that's crazy.
If you're putting it out there, it's because it was that serious for you.
No, because people are telling me that I sound crazy for the expectation that I had, and I don't think it's a high expectation.
Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me. Put it out your mind, cause jealousy, they don't know how to text. But that's not ours. Copyright John B.
But the thing is yes, I had an expectation and I had these things for you. And it's like communication is like all I'm starting to say is, especially like when you're dating, it's like I want you to match my energy. Give me the same energy that I'm giving you. And if you, after we've been out on these dates, after we've done all this stuff, after we've done all this legwork that you can
one day.
Okay, we've been on
we
one
may
day.
not even talked about non-negotiables.
But like you can't even do this. Like I think that I have the right to be like I've all said, if I want to put some closer and let you know why that you didn't do that, then that's fine.
I feel like I need a backstory.
Who cares? Who cares?
I don't.
Who cares?
She does.
Bare minimum.
She does. That's why she put it on social media.
No, because like
she does. That's why she put it on social media.
I can't believe that this is where the topic has gone to. Like because like I was gonna go into like this whole roller coaster, this roll up and downs of like communication, and like yo, we are at a point right now where we can't even agree that you can not send somebody back, communicate with them in 12 hours, and that could not be a red flag. At bare minimum, that's not a red flag.
It can be a red flag. The red flag shouldn't cause for you to scorch the earth.
I think once
figure it out. I think once you figure it out.
I think once you start seeing red flags, regardless of how many they are or how little that they are, because I'll tell you right now, them red flags can turn into a scarf real quick. Because it's like if you can't communicate on this, like who knows what else that you can't communicate on, who knows what you got going on? Because like these are other keys that are part of the relationship. It's like the things like trust and like honesty. And
what
like
I've been saying is like a part of communication is being able to give that give and take. You understand what I'm saying? So just because it feels like a red flag now doesn't mean that it may not seem like a red flag later once it's properly communicated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all right, he made a mistake, did not text you in 12 hours. You over anticipated the text back.
Mistakes are costly.
Listen what I'm saying. All right. You have a conversation about that. Maybe the brother says, my bad, it won't happen again. Now I see how you are about text messages. I'll make sure to hit you. All right, because this is a pet peeve of mine. You have to be able to talk about the tough. You have to be able to have the tough conversations. If you're not willing to have the tough conversation in a relationship, you're not looking or prepared to be in a long-term relationship.
If we're having like these type of conversations and we have to have a long drawn out conversation over you not responding to me or communicating with me in 12 hours, we're going to have these type of conversations about everything.
I don't think it's a long drawn out. I think it seems like that because we're conversating about it on the pod, but conversing about it on the pod. But I feel like if her response was, yo, it's been 12 hours, you haven't hit me. And he says, my bad, I'm wilding. It won't happen again. What you doing tonight? They get up and they have a conversation about the lack of conversing. Then it's like, okay, we're not going to have that issue again. We moving forward. Now they're already building a tighter relationship off of the mistake that happened rather than just saying I'm cutting everything off. Like people have no patience for each other anymore. And that doesn't work. Because when you're trying to move towards a relationship or even marriage, you have to have more patience.
Yes, I understand that. But like when we're in these early parts, it's like, yo, like things are moving too fast. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. And it's like, you only get so many mistakes before before you get put on the cutting room floor.
Right. This wasn't so many mistakes. This was one.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. Like I can't even tell you like what my day was like. I can't find out what your day was like. I can't tell you like all this stuff is going on. I don't know what you got going on later because you are literally not responding to me.
All right, question.
And all right, go ahead.
You're an employer.
Okay.
You have a staff. You had a great interview with them. You decide to hire them.
Mm-hmm.
They work the first week. They work the second week, and they're late one of those days. Are you firing them?
Yeah, if they don't respond to me when I call them and I send them text messages, I'm like, yo, where are you at? What's going on?
And let's say, hey, you missed your shift. You were a no-call, no-show. I overslept. Completely my bad. It'll never happen again.
For 12 hours, you overslept? No, because that's in your 30-day probationary period. So should there be a probationary period on the courting of these relationships?
Yes.
All right. So he messed up.
You literally said that before.
He messed up in his probationary period.
So you're gonna fire that employee?
Yes, I'm on to the next one. Unless you got a bunch gonna come with something else.
Hey, listen, the expectations is high. That's all I'm saying.
That's not a high expectation.
I have been a hiring manager where I've had somebody who's missed a shift.
Well, first of all, we've needed staff, so like you look over a lot of things to keep people around. Like if you're desperate, it's different.
I was not desperate. In this situation, I was not desperate.
Okay.
The person no called, no show,
mm-hmm.
called them in. I wrote them up. We had a conversation. There was not an issue moving forward from there. In fact, that person ended up running their own program.
Okay.
You never know what it's going to grow into if you don't have the patience of availability to show somebody the same kindness you would want them to show you.
I mean, the kindness that I want you to show me is by responding back to me. Like that's the kindness in itself. It's like
I feel like you already picked a side before you brought up this conversation.
So like this is we talked about like this thing before. It's
Who
like
is this girl?
Why did
you do this?
Why is it like I have to set an expectation and then I have to also be a bigger person for you to like, hey, like I know you made this mistake, but like let me forgive this mistake before you give me a reason.
I think that's
before you give me a reason to forgive it, and then it's give you a chance to make up for it.
I think that's what you're missing. The expectation wasn't set between the two of them. It was only her own expectation. So I can't meet something that I don't know about. If this is something that's going to trigger you, or it's
how you would know about it,
or something that you don't, here you go.
If I responded back, that's how you would know what my expectation was.
Even if you responded back and she goes, oh, that took dumb long, I'm all set, which is what happened, right?
No. I told you it went 12 hours and then she was the next person that responded. So the two blue blocks are her on top of each other, 12 hours separate from each other. And then he was like, why are you tripping? That was his response. It's like, yo, why are you tripping?
Why are you tripping?
Because, like, you know what? Like, I guess you're right. And like, I guess my thing too is like, I don't waste time with the arguments and the scorched earth and like all this stuff. I just keep it pushing. And it's like, but you're just like, oh, like, if you want to make a fight out of it and you want to make a spectacle of it, like, that's the bad part. It's like, yeah, I'm making a spectacle over something that you did that bothered me.
But what I'm saying is, then you never have conversations. They only become arguments. They only become over exaggerations. They only become breakups and scorched earth. And you never learn how to get past tough moments. No matter what type of the relationship you're in, you're going to have tough moments. And if you don't know how to push through those tough moments, you're never going to get to a place where you're saying, okay, I'm in a good relationship where we completely know each other. I'm not supposed to know this is about to get me cut off. We've been on one date,
You must assume that you are constantly on the chopping block. You're in your probationary period, so any mistake that you make can get you dropped.
I'd rather know that I know that I know rather than assume.
So like that's another thing too, is like you're telling me that like you only move a certain way because like you know what the consequences are, but if you don't know what the consequences are, you can do whatever you want.
Ask me that question again.
So what you're telling me is if you don't know the consequences of a certain behavior, you can do whatever you want because I don't know what the consequences are. But if you tell me what the consequences are, then I just won't do that thing. Not because I don't know that it's not what you're supposed to do, but because I just don't know what the consequences are.
But it's okay. I'm leaving it alone. I feel like we're gonna spend a whole nother hour on this. But what I'm saying is it's like I'm not doing whatever because I don't know the consequences. Like this is just how I operate. The consequences are based on your terms that I don't know. So how do I know?
You will learn them in the DMs, bro.
No, listen, I don't know that this is wrong. Like you're assuming that. Like this may not have been a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
because and the reason why you
what
assume
the terms are, so I don't know. Like this is the ultimate consequence barn burner because I don't know the expectation.
You assume that stuff because you built a relationship in the direct messages in the DMs. Then we met in person. You are building these type of things again there.
You haven't built a relationship in the DMs, but again,
you did build a relationship in the DMs.
I don't know how DMs work. All right, I don't know how DMs work, but I don't like.
And back in the days, it was a phone call. It was a phone call, like what you call it? Like I called you and I told you that I liked you or like whatever, or I spit game at you. I made a type of verbal contract that I am interested in you. This is how we build.
We haven't formed a relationship still.
You 100% formed a relationship.
And the courting stage is not a relationship. That's still getting to know each other. That's still seeing where we are. That's not that. I think that could be a problem too, like establishing that it's a relationship before it actually is. Like I have a lot of people that like I work with and that I'm cool with, but they not homies, they not friends.
Yes, but a coworker is still a relationship. It's not it's an acquaintance. It's not a friend.
An acquaintance and a relationship are two different things.
But no, they're not. They're all different terms for the type of relationship that it is. Like your siblings and stuff like that are a relationship. Your wife is a relationship. We're friends. We have a relationship.
Okay.
Everything is a relationship.
So what I'm saying is there's levels of intimacy within each relationship.
Yep.
And if I'm not on the same level of intimacy that you are on, then I'm already at a failure when you're saying that we're here and I'm thinking we're still here.
So like here is like you don't need to talk to me is what you're saying. I think we can't even get past the simple fact that like I don't need to talk to you today. I don't need to talk to you.
What's wrong with that though? She was the one who had the problem with that.
Trying to build a relationship, and I can't build anything if you won't talk to me.
So what I'm saying is,
I can't even talk about communication if we can't communicate.
We're not trying to build a relationship. We're trying to get to know each other, and if it leads to us having all right. So we're losing relationship in a different form. Okay, so. Everything's a relationship. That's what Joel's saying, right? Everything's a relationship.
I don't know if like, you are.
Even if I get on the bus with the same person, we have a bus relationship.
Yeah, that's right. I do not ride the bus with.
Okay, so I'm going off of your.
Hold on. I don't know how am I supposed to know if you're a sneaky link, if you're a booty call, if you're a boyfriend, if you're any of these things, if you can't even talk to me so I can put you in the proper category. Listen, I need to know these things. You need to talk to me.
It's literally one good morning text. We just had a date when we talked a whole bunch. We could probably get up later, have a more conversation. Like for all this to happen over a good morning text, I feel like he's probably better off.
Sure. But I think like when we talk about like the 4 C's in there, one of the 4 C's is consistency. And if you can't communicate, you are showing a lack of consistency. Regardless of what how the date went, like you're saying that like, oh, like I don't need to respond to you. Like, I don't need to do this or whatever. It's like, if you feel like you don't need to respond, like,
the word consistency, it doesn't show here that he was consistently not responding.
He consistently didn't talk to her for 12 hours.
The one time. It was just the one time.
Yes, for 12 hours. And then afterwards, he said what his day looked like. And his day showed he could have messaged her at any point in time. And he chose not to until she told him that it was scorched earth. Because that's how some people do. Is like they don't react or they don't change the behavior until the consequence comes. And and they're only reacting to the consequence because they're like, oh, my bad. I'm trying to keep things going or whatever. And it's like, no, like we shouldn't need to get here. I'm all set.
Okay. This is crazy.
It was crazy. All right. What do we got next? Do you have a reason that?
I need to know who this person is.
While you're talking, I'm gonna find this message and I'm gonna show it to you. Like, I can't believe.
I'm gonna DM me, man. I'm gonna go full hitch.
I can't believe that we spent all that time.
Hook him up with
Allegra Cole.
I'm gonna hook her up with somebody else, man. They're gonna be just fine. This is crazy.
It is crazy.
So we'll go with the cultural gym first. I do not have time for erasing that today.
No, you don't. No.
We're going cultural gym, and that is it, bro. This is crazy. 11, 30, 12, 31. This is like 3 hours right here.
This is crazy. Yeah, it's like, I can't believe this is where we ended up.
I can't either. We might have you skip a segment. Brother's tripping. All right, so listen, I'm definitely getting back to that thug stuff this week.
It's the thuggish on his phone.
And y'all know I'm a sucker for Spike Lee movies. So this year this episode I went with none other than the 1995 classic Clockers.
Okay, damn, I haven't seen Clockers. You said it's 1990?
1995. 1995. It's Clockers. So you have Spike Lee, you have Delroy Lindo, you have John Turturro, you have Mekhi Phifer, you've got Isaiah Washington, you got Pee Wee Love, you got Kevin David, you got Hassan Johnson who plays Weebay. And
okay.
Yeah.
Because if you wouldn't have said that, I'd be like, I don't know who Hassan Johnson is.
Yeah. Listen, it's like Harry Lennox, like Regina Taylor, Steve White. Like this is a star-studded cast. It stars Mekhi Phifer and Delroy Lindo. They're the two leading characters in there. And Mekhi Phifer basically like sells drugs, of course. It's in the New York area.
Of course.
He's kind of working on consignment for Delroy. His character's name, I'll call him by his character's name, is Rodney Little. So at some point he's deciding that he doesn't want no parts of the game anymore, but like he's always getting harassed by the police. They're always setting him up, and then Delroy ends up getting hit like with some charges, and he instantly thinks that Mekhi Phifer's character is a person who set him up. So he's spending all this time trying to get out of the hood, and it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I think I try to find like the message within every movie.
Okay.
And I just think it's just a good depiction of trying to teach young men, like regardless of how good you think you got it, how much money you are making, at some point, this lifestyle does have an expiration date. The people that you think are close to you can quickly turn on you for the sake of a couple dollars. You know what I mean? So
Snowfall.
Ooh, Snowfall. ASAP Rocky. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful who you have in your corner and the way you moving, and just understand like the stuff that is appealing to the eye may not always be appealing to your lifestyle or your longevity. So you want to make sure that you're making the right moves when you're moving around.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious of like what this is on.
We have it on Hulu. We have it on Sling. We have it on Amazon Prime. We have it on YouTube if you pay $4. I'm pretty sure it might be on there for free somewhere. And of course, Vudu.
Is it really on Vudu?
Yes.
There's no way.
Yes. It's actually $4 on Vudu too. I'm gonna click watch just to see what happens. Like I want to see what Vudu looks like. Like what the they gonna have to send us a. Oh yeah, look, it's just like a little app that you download. Oh, it's part of Fandango.
Okay.
So Vudu's part of Fandango. Look at that. You just install it on your phone, and then I guess you probably play a premium subscription, and they give you these movies. All right. But yeah, so that's what we got for this week. We got Clockers, 1995 5. Yep. Drama, crime, Spike Lee joint. Sure
it is a Spike Lee joint?
Yes.
I know he's in it. I just much forgot.
Yeah, he plays Chucky, but Spike Lee ain't in no movies that he ain't wrote. If you can find a Spike Lee movie that he's in that he did not like direct or have some writing credits in, then I would say you are the man. But I'm actually gonna look to see that now. It would probably have to be like his first movie ever, and I believe his first movie ever he also written and directed. So,
hey, what is his first movie ever?
I want to say Do the Right Thing, but I think it was something before that. Because I feel like School Days might have been before Do the Right Thing, which is a Spike Lee joint.
I want to say Do the Right Thing is first.
I do too, because I feel like he just looked younger. He still had hair on his head, a little high top. He was a little skinnier, you know what I mean? He had the Martin Lawrence with the lisp in there, you know what I mean? But I didn't really went with him like, oh, he messed up your brand new Jordans. He was like, you might not even wear them joints no more. No, that wasn't it.
No, I'm not gonna open it.
He's like, them joints is messed up. He was like, I grew up here all my life. He had the Larry Bird shirt.
Yeah.
See y'all?
He was like, Larry Bird. Oh!
Yeah, but yeah. So Clockers, go ahead and check it out, man. I'm sorry we ran so long today, but hey, man, we committed to helping.
It was a 12-hour pod.
Hey, we committed to helping out with your relationships. So let us know what you think, man. I might have to snip this one somewhere because
Nope.
No.
They got time codes, so they can figure it out.
No, I mean I'm talking about I'm gonna post part of this conversation to see how people react to it.
All right.
And put it on Instagram just like Homegirl did. All right.
Put it on Twitter. So like to get instant reactions. Because Instagram's a day late.
Until we see y'all again, man. Holla at your boys.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. No, I thought you were gonna go.